I'll be sorry when you're gone. I'll take my chances. I know God I'm right
in that relationship.
I have been there for the longest time.
Because like I said, nobody can force you to do anything. You can have the best leadership in the world, but if your woman is not going to get out of her own way and allow you to do what you are not what you think you are doing, it's not going to work. You're not going to be able to do it. That's why I say that there's nothing weak about allowing your man to lead, because that's what you're supposed to do. You got to do it today. You got to do it all the way. Allow that man to do what he wants to do. It's going to benefit you both. But y'all are taking out of context. And y'all making this thing like I'm trying to strip a man's power away. What I'm saying is, you don't have power over anybody unless they give you that power over you. And it's important for us women to know and understand that it is perfectly okay to get out of our men's way, because that is essentially getting out of our own way and allowing us to maintain and sustain happy and healthy relationships. We both have to allow each other to do our jobs. Otherwise, we're going to constantly be in this battle. We're going to constantly be in conflict with one another because we're not allowing each other to just be. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? Brian says you on point. Rico says, true, I agree. But that's equal footing. True indeed. Verdell says, indeed, you are a team. You are supposed to be building a strong kingdom. True indeed. Let me see what y'all saying over on YouTube. Leaders need their followers to allow them to lead. Thank you so much. Who is this? The Realist. Compliance means nothing with the enthusiasm. Otherwise, there's opportunity for mutual. Why should she follow you if you lead it out of ego? True indeed. I think it's good.
Nobody takes down Angel Snuff 7 easy. There's a reason why, after 100 channels destroyed, Angel Snuff 7 is still here. There's a reason why nobody want to get in a beef with Angel Snuff 7. If you don't take me seriously, and now your ass is barbecued.
A junkie walking through the twilight. I'm on my way home. I left 3 days ago, but no one seems to know I'm gone. Home is where the hatred is. Home is filled with pain, and it might not be such a bad idea if I never went home again. Stand as far away from me as you can and ask me why. Hang on to your rosy bead, close your eyes to watch me die. You keep saying, kick it, quit it, kick it, quit it, God, but did you ever try? To turn your sick soul inside out, so that the world can watch you die.
Do those things, but if I'm not going to allow you to do those things, then it's not going to work.
For black people, it's all about the unity. There's nothing they can do with us, so ain't nobody.
We are in a state of emergency. Wrote a song about it? Like to hear? Here it go. Free your mind.
It's all about the unity. There's nothing they can do with us, so ain't nobody move with me. I think we're all going to bring it down to this fire and I'm black people. It's all about the unity. There's nothing they can do with us, so ain't nobody move with me. Like that, the king, we make it plain and simple. Bring it down to this fire and reality simple.
To ring out in perfect harmony, Ellis becomes the first of the divas to offer the world her singular sound. And she does just that on Fun Again.
Every time I say aloud, y'all get into y'all feelings, fellas, and I don't even understand it. You can't do nothing without somebody in that relationship granting you access. Without compromise being made on both ends. Y'all please like this video, please share this video. Because my goodness, every time I put
one of these days you gon' see me, but I've been right here all the time. Hey, 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 you gonna reach out to touch me, but I won't be there by your side. No, you're gonna wish you could treat me thirsty like the desert ground.
if she would just work with you, if she would just allow you to. That's all.
Everybody join in this melody. That's the only way we're gonna be free.
And that is Brother Taalik from the Reality Temples on Earth channel. And if you get a chance to subscribe, please do subscribe to his channel. He's a good brother. You know, he's doing good work, and he wants to do good constructive things. He has good information to provide. So please do check out his channel if you get a chance.
I mean it in the sense of, as a woman, I have to learn how to submit to my man and get out of his way and stop stepping on his toes so that he can do what he needs to do for me and for our household and for our families, for us.
Everybody who is black and interested in black people, let us sit down and find out how we can get together in one direction against one enemy and accomplish this job overnight.
When soul singer and black activist Sam Cooke wrote the lyrics to his song, "A Change Is Gonna Come," it was very direct and to the point. With some changes to it, the song was still digestible. In the year 2019, Black folks continue to go through the change rather than direct the change. A community activist named Taalik Ibn'rad has made an appeal similar to what Sam Cooke was asking for. A change. It's said that the meek shall inherit the earth. We ask when. When will the landlords give the meek a free lease? Mr. Ibn'rad is humbly asking for the state of Mississippi. This is Dusty Basement Studios, and we approve of this message.
It is there, I just didn't get it. And I get it, you know, we old school, we new school, whatever, we in between, okay? I understand some of y'all men probably are 40 plus, and here I come with my 28-year-old ass talking about allowing and letting a man leave. And y'all like, oh, that's some new school shit. A man gonna just do what he needs to do regardless. And I understand that, but I think we're...
Dragon Manifest. Welcome to the Reality Tip on Earth, Dragon Manifest.
Thank you for having me, brother. This is an honor. I've been watching you for at least a couple years now.
Yes, sir.
From the first time I got hip to your channel, I've been hooked ever since. I'm always looking out for new videos. I mean, when I first saw your channel, I said, "Oh, this is an ancestor that has most definitely returned." Yes, most definitely. This is not a new ancestor. This is an old ancestor. You could hear, you could feel the ancestors through you. You know, most people probably say, "What is he talking about?"
Right.
They don't get it. You gotta be on that level.
Hey, Uma! Not to be popular. It just, I'm inspired by my brother. That Reality Tip was brother. The most powerful voice on the internet. That reality angel snubbing up 7. That's right, brother. I'm calling you out, brother. I'm building you. I'm putting you out there, brother. I'm shouting you out. That's my inspiration.
It was a different ball game. He just was being the man.
Welcome to the Reality Temple on Earth. My name is Jeroen, and I would like to say that Angel Snub7 isn't a racist at all. He's a good friend.
I do want to say something right now. There is a YouTuber who has really got in my heart, and that is Angel Snub7. He reminds me a lot of my father. My father died last year of a heart attack.
Peace, Myron. I'm so Sister D, and I just wanted to say thank you for to the medical program of my Taalik. And it's meant so much to us that you would help, because
but either way, it goes back to me allowing that man to be the man in my life.
I want to say, for all of you that helped and that donated, I would really like to give a big thanks, and I hope I can meet you one day.
He was still a man. He was still being the man regardless. But it boiled down to, in regards to our relationship, was I going to allow him to be the man?
Peace, Myron.
And I hold
Peace, Myron.
Since my man is a king.
Peace, Myron.
If I would have not allowed him to be.
Everybody jump.
Black people, it's all about the unity. They can do whatever.
In a state of emergency. Prejudice. Want a song about it? Like to hear it? Here it goes. Free your mind.
Keep it real.
What do?
Because I keeps it real like that.
I keep it real.
Yeah. I want that. Oh, I need that. Got to have that. It's
men are trying to force women to do certain things. If she sees the king in you, she'll follow. But when you're trying to be little harder, free your mind. You're never gonna get. You're never gonna get.
How do you guys feel about Terry frowning like that with her Alberta's album?
She's cute. That's all I got to say. She cute.
Terry thinks she's cute.
Thanks, hon.
She came out with a different attitude after
It was
that.
like no gun to me. I remember we did our video.
That's old school. Life has changed. On the rest.
Wait, what was that? Mr. T did in Rocky. What was that? Rocky 3. Was it Rocky 3? Don't you come and love my face?
There we go. I don't have a lot to say. Come to see Terry. That's Terry, Cindy, Verona.
I trust that feeling. Does anybody have any questions of me before I get out of here? Let's see what you guys are saying. What's up, Soul Sister Rona? Hey, Taalik. I'm the brother that did Mike Jackson in Tunica, Mississippi. Hey, now. Hello to Terry. Respect. Bless up. Bless up. Bless up.
Come to see Terry. That's Terry, Cindy, Verona. It's Terry.
The Michael Curtis face. Oh, break it down. Give him something he can feel. Watch it.
It's Terry.
It's important for the Black youth, especially, to know that we did have a history and that we did great things and that we had great people. And those things were not in the history books when I was in school. And what I'd like to be doing 5 years from now is attempting to rewrite the history books so that they'll know that.
And him just being allowed me to allow. Y'all listen, y'all do this, y'all do that, then it wasn't gonna work. But since he was just being
we want to make sure that we're not just working to be first, but we're working to be right. A lot of times there are situations when things are just happening so fast. It's always important to be fast, but we always want to be right.
My brother Angel Snubnob 7 at the Realities Temple. And to give props to him, because I listened to all of Angel Snubnob 7's videos. I think that he comes from a different angle. And there's a powerful message in a lot of the videos that he put out, and I try to catch all of them. I look at him as a free thinker and a person that's willing to challenge those of which he don't agree with or which he may think differently from, and I really respect him for that. He's challenged KBS, and he has also challenged the Black supremacy movement as well. And I have nothing against that, because that which cannot be challenged cannot stand, and will not stand, and will not survive the test of time. How many challenges we can withstand will determine how long we will be able to stand.
And my name is Myron. They call me SNIFFY. My name Myron Johnson. They call me SNIFFY. They call me SNIFFY. My cousin is Dr. Umar Yaman. I'm here to give y'all a message. Y'all better leave my cousin alone. That's what y'all better do. My cousin Umar doing good work for y'all. Y'all some stupid ass niggas, man. And y'all ain't giving the man no money.
Be a man of greatness now, a man so tall, a man so kind. Be a man of wisdom now, a man of mind, a man not blind. Be a man of kindness now, a man so big and strong in mind. Be a man so humble now, a man of man now let it shine. This is what you are, this is how it has been now. This is what to be, and a kind of man now. This is what to say, with a kind of meaning. This is what to feel, with a kind of feeling. We are growing higher. We are growing higher. We are growing higher.
And you don't realize it. You don't realize it, that God has been imprisoned. The devil was able to imprison God. So right inside your own self, your God self has been imprisoned, and you have a false sense of self running rampant inside the temple. This is why, you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
We have to bring reality's temple here on earth. Reality's temple here on earth.
Yes, sir.
We have to realize the enemy is running rampant inside this temple.
But you, a lot of your video content to me was very informative. You know, the things you talked about had substance, man. And I first really knew about you because of JT Riley 1, Real Nigga News. And you and him got into a conflict with each other. And when I did my website, you were the only brother. And let me stress that, because when I did that website, blackcommune.net, and I did the video and I asked the Black YouTube community, the so-called Black YouTube community, to give me your videos, because at the time a lot of brothers were getting flagged and videos taken down. So I said, you know what, you can put your videos on my website so that the message can still be heard for all to hear. You know, something like, you know, a little I made that website for everyone, but you were the only one that gave me permission to use your videos. And I thought that was very honorable of you, and really a testament to how much you cared about the Black community.
I keep it real.
What, dear? Because I keeps it real like that. I keeps it real.
Ride, let's get this party started. Ride, let's get this party started quickly. Let's get this party started quickly. Let's get this party started. Ride, let's get this party started. Ride, let's get this party started quickly. Let's get this party started quickly. Let's get this party started. Ride, ride, ride. Let's get this party started. Ride, ride, ride. Let's get this party started quickly. Let's get this party started quickly. Let's get this party started. Ride, ride, ride. Let's get this party started. Ride, ride, ride. Let's get this party started quickly. Let's get this party started quickly. Let's get this party started. Ride, ride, ride. Let's get this party started. Ride, ride, ride. Let's get this party started quickly.
Peace and blessings, brother.
Well, how you doing there, Brother Khalil?
Doing fine, brother. Can't complain, brother.
All right. Glad to see you. Glad to see you.
Yeah. Glad to be on the show today, brother.
Yes, sir.
And get more enlightened on the operation of Mississippi after this program.
Yes, sir. Yes,
you know, because there's something that really needs to be looked into, because like you brought up a lot of valid points on my post about these so-called Black Power movements that have been around almost 100 years, but have nothing came about it, but just the leaders getting rich, but the majority of the people end up dying broke, busted, and disgusted, and they come up with nothing from the organization for all them years of dedicating of hard work. And the reality of it that most of these leaders are cult leaders. They bring people into the cult to have them worshiping them, giving them their hard-earned money. Then, even though they're not even living by the rules that they implement in the community, once somebody in the community breaks it, they push them out, but still want to collect money from them and still living the life that they supposed to live in the life like the white man live, but it's anti the white man. See, it's all a con and a hustle game.
Mm-hmm.
I was once a victim of that until I had to wake up and see it. All these years of doing it, and ain't nothing coming about it. You know, we all have been having hopes and pumping the fist from the Black Power, but then you come to the realization that Black Power is nothing but a con game. That's all that it is. You know, even when it come down to speaking about Elijah Muhammad, yes, Elijah Muhammad, he did good, but he also did bad also. You know, the discredit of how people speak about Malcolm X. I was one of the people who said negative things about Malcolm until I had to realize and say, this man ain't did nothing to me. Why I'm hating the man that died before I was even born? Could it be that I was psychologically manipulated to hate a man and feel like he an enemy, and none of us never even seen Malcolm or been around Malcolm he never did nothing to us personally to even be hating the man. So you have to ask yourself, how you calling a man a hypocrite for exposing something that's true?
Yes, sir.
Because if it was not true, he wouldn't have went to the extent to have that done to him. See, they tell a lie and say that the FBI, the FBI infiltrated, but it was religious zealots that did it to him.
Yes, sir.
That's what they was who did it to him, and they came from out the Nation of Islam. That's the true reality of that. And see, I even had to I apologize to Malcolm's great granddaughter.
Mm-hmm.
Through her Facebook Messenger. I've said I'm sorry the things that I said about your great grandfather and things like that, because I didn't know. After really doing research and they said that he didn't lie. He told the truth. Because how could you hold yourself up to be an immoral man? Okay, if you're a polygamist, you're a polygamist. Be an honest man about it. Don't lie and say you ain't did it, and the truth come out and was your children because you was paying support for them. You was lying because you was wrong. You know you was wrong, but you didn't. And instead of being honest, you rather take out a man instead of him being a man and say, yeah, I did it.
Right.
See, you understand what I'm saying? We have to deal with the truth, and then when you bring this to these zealots, they look around and they say, oh, you saying that, it ain't true, whatever. No, he was a man just like any other man, and that was his vices.
Yes.
You have to be truthful. It was not divine. He acted out of lustly. He wanted to have sex with them younger women because he had money, and the women wanted to have sex with him because he had financial stability. That's common sense. They didn't love him. They just looked at that he was an old man that had money.
Mm-hmm.
After you come to realization, you'll see that none of it is gaining black people nothing. Just like Minister Farrakhan, you know, with all the if he the Messiah, with all the gang violence going on in Chicago, he hasn't did nothing to change the situation of the people. But he's a Messiah to the world. He's a Jesus. But he can't stop the violence in his own back door.
Good question.
Evidently, the youth ain't paying attention to him. He's an irrelevant old man. He just getting up there. He had the age where people like tell their grandma and granddaddy like, yeah, you okay, like you could talk, but we not listening to you because you an elder.
Yeah.
You really ain't relevant no more. You just around, but nobody is even taking you serious no more.
Mm-hmm.
And see, when you bring up the plans of what you talking about that was realistic, they get mad behind it because they really don't want to do nothing. They want to deal within fantasy. It's all a fantasy world to them. They really don't want to build them. They just want to be high on a religion, but they say they ain't religion. They're just a religious rhetoric. We gonna build a hereafter. We got farmland. No, you don't got farmland. At the end of the day, you can't go to that farmland and live. You can't reap no resources from that land, because if he died a day tomorrow, that owns to his family, not no organization.
Yes, that's right.
That's the reality. All these religious leaders, these cult leaders, their land and property belongs to them and their family, not the followers.
That's right.
At the end of the day, you can't claim nothing there in court and say, I'm a rightful owner of that, and we entitled to them the property. No, the hell you not. They pay taxes to keep that going, whatever they're doing. It just the money was built off the people who follow the cult leaders, as which he is a cult leader.
Yes.
That's all that they are. All these religions factors are cults. But then you bring up the idea about the Black Christians community, right?
Mm-hmm.
To an extent, the poor eating Black Christian, when you ask them questions, a lot of them are financially off better than the pro-Black niggas that talk all that mess. They got more going on in their life.
Sure do.
And they supposed to believe in a mystery God. I'm just being honest. I done met a few Christian brothers that well off financially. So what is it saying? And they don't supposed to have a so-called knowledge of self. Knowledge of self is just being aware of who you are, your surroundings, and one within self. It ain't really no doctrine. Being conscious is to be aware.
Right.
Somebody give you some information and making that soup up to sound good is not giving you knowledge of self, because that's not yourself. That's not making you acquainted with yourself. Only you can become acquainted with yourself, and you become awakened to within yourself, the truth within yourself. Once you learn truth. Not what somebody give you on a platter to say it has to be true. You know, a lot of these things have to be asked when given these questions and presented towards the people. You know, like for example, you speak about Farad. Okay, that's the same. That's no different from Christianity. A white Jesus on the picture and a white man on the picture. The same thing as a white God for a white God.
That's
no
right.
difference.
Ain't no difference.
But they gonna say Farad black. How is he black? Where's the black family? See, people don't ask these questions. They presented that he's a black man. Not saying now. Granted, we do got people that are all different shades of colors, but you still have the evidence of the black in him, and you have a family saying where he come from. His family. Where's his family to show that he's black? You mean to tell me everybody died off? There's no family member saying we the family of Farad? You see what I'm saying? This is not logical sense when you think about it. But then when you bring the questions to the people, they want to make you out to be crazy. Because they can't answer it when you ask them real questions. See, the thing is, you got to come to the realization, have you been lied to, tricked, and hoodwinked? Something that was a made up lie, because it just sounds good at that time. I can understand in the 50s and the 40s and the 30s, maybe black people needed a little antidote to deal with the inferiority complex. But now we have to deal with reality now.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? Because it's a whole nother different world, and what do we have to produce for the people? And they have to do nothing but just feel good rhetoric. That's it. Yes, on all ends. And you're not gonna get nothing solved on a religious base. You have to have something practical and something to give people, like you were speaking about the forum with Operation Mississippi Exodus.
Yes, sir.
You know, that's more tangible than just waiting around and waiting for a destruction of America, because if America's gonna be destroyed, that means our ass is gonna be destroyed too. So where we gonna be at? if this gonna come down, that means everybody gonna be destroyed. It's not gonna be nobody around the Sabbath. They're just logical sense.
You know this.
Yeah. But I'm saying this is just a question that will be asked, and it's not being offensive to nobody. But when you oppose these questions, they can't answer that. But you want to keep giving people that. I'm not going to perpetuate a lot of people that I can't prove to be true. Then because Elijah Muhammad said that don't teach nothing that you can't prove to be true. So if you're saying something that you can't prove to be true, you are a liar. That's simple. If you teach somebody something that you can't prove to be true, you're lying. So you just want somebody to believe something. A belief is nothing but a rhetoric that you want to believe in, but that's not factual knowledge. It's just a belief.
Yes, sir.
That's all it is. You know that we need like trucking companies. We need farmland, what we create, producing our own food, giving us some type of sovereignty where we can survive through these times. Not pumping the white man and devil, but still going to the white man for resources. That's like an oxymoron. At the end of the day, you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Because we still basically tied to them. Anyway, long as we in America, they hold the resources, we tied to them.
That's right.
So ain't no way escaping that. That's just how I see it, man. You know?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, they report me. I done got restricted a lot on the Facebook, my Facebook page.
I'm in
the people because I done got like 5 restrictions. They were saying because the content and stuff I put on Facebook. I ain't been putting none of disrespect on people. I just ask questions. I'm not bullying. I'm just saying that I'm not gonna go along with the perpetual lie that you want to give people. I'm awakened to it now. I know what it is. I know it's a game. You know, it is some people that believe in it sincerely and they don't know no better, but I know better, so I know that it's a game. It's a hustle and it's a game. It's a manipulative game. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But it's sad that you know, this keep on perpetuating and this keep going on to psychologically manipulate people into something.
Yeah.
That you ask yourself after dedicating years and time and effort. Like I seen you pose the question to them on Facebook, out of so many years and time and effort, what have you got out of it? And nobody have nothing that they couldn't answer that question.
No.
For themselves. You understand what I'm saying? Like you said, that you don't need no structure. It's like this. Common sense. If you're using a substance, whether it's drugs or alcohol, whatever you own, and you see that it's screwing your life, you don't need no religion to say you need to change yourself. You know, yourself can tell you, I'm going down in degradation. I have to change myself. Right. You don't need no religion to do that for you.
You sure don't.
Yeah, because there's many people that get up in the pulpit, whether Christian, Muslim, or whatever, and go straight to the dope house and get high. That don't mean nothing.
Yes.
That don't mean nothing. Just because they saying that don't stop no vices within a man. No. Whatever what it is, you have the power over to stop your own condition. You have that power within yourself. You know? I try to reach out to Brother Lorenzo to get him on, but I don't know. He didn't respond back to me.
He probably won't respond because he's one of those persons who's caught up in the feel-good rhetoric of it all, and can't really see the reality of what we're dealing with.
Yeah.
And Lorenzo, I mean, I think he's a very sincere person and he's a very good brother, but he just caught up in the Barnum and Bailey of it.
Yeah.
It's not realistic. And I understand, you know, things take time. Okay. I understand that. I understand things take time. But also at the same time, reasonable time. We're getting to the point where this is beyond reason. You claim that you know this, you have the solution, and in most cases, we have plenty. These persons are getting plenty of money. They got plenty of support. They got plenty of everything that we basically need. Farrakhan drew over 2 million people to the Million Man March back in 1995. I'm asking a simple question. What did y'all get out of it? Because I went. Okay, I went to the Million Man March. I supported it. So I'm looking at the aftermath. Then they told me, well, brother, the only thing, I mean, it's up to you to take what the minister said and then you apply it to yourself and you go to work. I could have learned that over the radio. I could have learned that over TV. Why do I have to get in my car and go all the way to Washington, D.C. just so I can hear this speech, an hour, 2 hour speech talking about I need to atone and I need to join all these different organizations. They offer no kind of plan. They have no vision. They had nothing to offer. Everybody that was juggling with their egos, trying to get a spot to show off in front of the audience. That's all the whole thing was about. It was a clown circus. And I took 2 brothers with me, and it was so poorly organized. There was even no, they didn't even, look, the Nation of Islam didn't even have bean soup to sell. We had to go to Burger King to get something to eat.
Yeah.
That's how tacky it was. Oh, but they didn't have no problem with bringing out the Kentucky Fried Chicken buckets, you know, donate.
Yeah.
Effort.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because see, that's all what it's for. Like I tell people that 1995 basically was the spiritual death of Louis Farrakhan that proved him to the world. That he united 2 million people for what? And he should have brought about a solution of building a sovereignty nation within doing that. That showed his face back then.
Yes.
26 years later, nothing came about of that.
No.
To the credit of if you look at the civil rights movement, when King did it in 1963 rather,
yeah,
you can say from the civil rights movement that came about more better than the Million Man March.
Sure did.
Statistically wise, if you're going to be realistic, it did. They brought about laws, changing laws and integration laws and anything that they want. They got some out of doing that.
Yes.
It may not have been nothing that we agree with,
personally, I didn't agree with King philosophy, but I'm saying it got more results out of the Million Man March. That's the point I'm making.
And that's the fact.
They was doing. You know, this is factual.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of money was collected in that time, and then they lied on the article when they was asking what happened with the money was when they made up an excuse. Because you got to realize they got paid off hotel fee, transportation fees, and all the venues. The final call Nation of Islam got money, got checks from that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, see, this one thing you got to understand too. A man for truly black liberation. This is the question that I asked them. The United States government would have never let a man like Malik El-Shabazz, anybody else, have a march there. They would have arrested him right there on site because they knew what he would have united and what he did. See, they let Farrakhan be up there because they know that his agenda was really for not helping black people. Mm-hmm. That's why they let him do that. Mm-hmm. They wouldn't let nobody who true poor liberation for black people have no venue on the Lincoln Memorial, a march, and they know it ain't knowing your mind how you think of doing for your people. No, they're not going to do that. He is the only leader that never been arrested, never interacting within the law. You got to look at that. If he say he's for black people, he's not. Mm-hmm. He just supporting his own agenda. He's like Reverend Ike, the late Reverend Ike. Mm-hmm. He said in 1978 that he said Louis Farrakhan is a spiritual whore. He does anything for the money, right? He's seen this before he got big, right? He said that that's what you are. Mm-hmm. You only loyalty to your own desires. Mm. He called him out before he got beaten to the world. He knew that this what he was only loyal to his own desires, which he is.
Yes.
You know, there's nothing wrong with a man if you want to have nice things and things like that of that nature. You know, if you want to go out there and work for it, that's nothing wrong. But when it comes to it's come off the back of poor people, you using and manipulating them, that's wrong.
That's right.
To support your lifestyle, you putting your children through college, you putting your family members, they living off a lifestyle off of the poor believers that people came and put their own families in that position.
That's right.
You know how many people I don't know went homeless behind helping them? They'll put up their homes.
Wow.
They gave to the Million More movement. I know brothers had to sleep in their car. Mm. They mortgaged. It was a brother out of DC that put a second mortgage on his home to help Minister Farrakhan. He ended up losing this in his family. Ended up being homeless, raising up, giving them money. Because he was that psychologically manipulated in the helping them and dedicating to a cause. He was that sincere. Wow. It done been people, brother, then walked that I done seen in that organization. There been people done walked in there and got a whole paycheck, whether it be $900 or $2,000 paycheck, and they walk out of there, asking me, they walk out there with nothing. But $5 in they, because they done say, give to the cause till it hurt. Give to it hurt, but then you look at it and yourself, you done gave these thousands and thousands of dollars over the years, and you say, what have you accomplished within yourself? Nothing. All the time you can be taking that helping yourself and actually building and doing something. Because you've been taken advantage of. It's a hustle.
Yes, sir.
It's all there with a psychological hustle. It's indoctrination into an idea. See, to be psychologically manipulated, it's just like a whore and a prostitute. I mean, a pimp and a prostitute. A pimp ain't gonna never tell a prostitute her worth, and she out there bringing them money. Of course he not. He gonna keep it in because he got to keep her indoctrinated into him. He got to keep her mind psychologically Bible to he gonna keep giving her money. They ain't gonna never say what I'm doing to you is wrong. No, because you guarantee you giving them money. The same thing with him. He's a pimp. He's using psychological. He understand that way of thinking. Like you look at him, you're aligning himself with Father Michael Flager, a known homosexual priest. kissing him and befriending him. Now they saying that he was never cleared of no charges. What it was that, you know, anything about the legal system, the archdiocese cannot clear you from legal charges. It just said that it was insufficient findings in the claim that was brought to the archdiocese, which is BS. Because the state is going to pick the case up and do that because it's a sexual charges.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe that no man will lie and say another man violate them sexually for money. I don't believe that.
That's a big step.
Yeah, just for some money. No, I can't see that happening if that did not happen to be true. But he aligned himself with them and say, yeah, this okay, this good. You know, you had to look at all these things, man, with Flagger. Then you have him aligning himself with Al Sharpton, and everybody knows Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson, FBI informants. For years, and guess who was around them? Lewis was.
Sure was. Because I was around him with Lewis.
Yeah. Yeah, sure then you gotta ask yourself, what does that make him?
Mm-hmm.
What was his true agenda in his passion? No, it was not for helping black people. It was not. You know, and a lot of people who's standing up for so-called standing up for black people, it's a hustle with the pro-blackness.
That's right.
It's just to make people believe, yeah, the white man is the devil. Yeah, at the same time, they collecting checks from the white man. They ain't gonna stop it, but they just gonna have you believing that it's gonna be something different. You know, all these, you know, it's just a shame that people spend years and years dedicating to something and you end up with nothing in return. Nothing.
Well, I spent 9 years with Farrakhan.
Yeah.
I didn't get nothing. Farrakhan gives you nothing in that organization. You get received absolutely nothing. I thought being a FOI, I thought because in this country, you pay your taxes and whatever, and you go into the military, the nation support their soldiers. So if FOI is the soldiers of the Nation of Islam, you would think that the Nation of Islam provide your suits and, you know, whatever you need to support your soldiers. Everything under Farrakhan, if you don't buy, you don't get.
Yeah, like I asked the brother, I said that you don't dedicate it, I say compared to going in the military of the United States government and the military of the FOI, through the Islam, military training on the Islam of man in North America. I said, okay, you dedicate 20 to 30 years to that, right? In the devil's military, if you survive 20 years, 30 years, you got a pension to come home with money, you could buy land, you could do something with.
Yes.
You compare it to the nation, you done did this, you got nothing to come out with.
Nothing.
You haven't gained nothing. So I say that I would advise it. Yeah, like I'll tell young people, you know, each his own, but I would rather them dedicate their time going to the military because a lot of them fight on the streets for communities they don't own. They kill themselves over that. So you might as well go over to the military if you survive it. You do 20 years, you come out with something. They tell you to go to some religious organization for 20 years and you ain't got nothing. And you come out so psychologically damaged after that, now you're hurt.
Wow.
Because people done sold you hope that you find ain't no different than the people in the streets. They done manipulated you.
Yes, sir.
They done had you to sell papers and bean pies, pimping you out there in the streets. Do all conditioning welder. And telling you to keep doing it, brother. Keep doing it, brother. Tell me, yeah, man, you're gonna get blessings, man. Come put more papers on top of you.
Yeah.
Now they making you pay back bills. You can't get out of it. Then if you don't pay your bill, they're gonna shame you in that FOI class.
Wow.
Cause you can't pay your bill, your back bill. They say, well, you owe this much, brother. The paper captain say you owe this much, brother, on your paper bill. How you gonna pay it now? The FOI, the captains and everybody looking at you like they want to beat you down, which they will do that to you. They will do that to you. So that's why I say it's not even no brotherhood within that.
No, it's not.
The same brothers you could be praying next to, being next to in the ranks of a temple are must be the same brothers that will take you out, do anything to you if given the opportunity. If they feel like you think differently, you done sit up on the paper bill and they be looking at you a certain type of way because they got to keep it going, no different than the street game.
That's right.
The same shit applies, but they just want you to keep have the veil over your eye that you can't see. I had this younger brother tell me that he would do 25 years if somebody disrespected Minister Farrakhan and all this stuff, right? He's a young brother, right?
Okay.
So I said, you do 25 years in prison, you think they're going to support your wife and your children and you, and they're going to help you after doing that time? You really believe that? Okay. Yeah, the nation got me. I said, yeah, you believe that you want to. You go and do that, but you go ahead and do that, and you see where you'll be at. Taalik did 10 months for back in 87, 88 for he got messed up with some type of real estate fraud. Taalik, what he went to prison for. Now, Taalik was a dedicated soldier to Farrakhan. You know what I mean? And what he came back to help him build and what he did. But see, Taalik came in on the first when Elijah Muhammad was alive.
Okay.
So Farrakhan was not his spiritual teacher. That's the only problem I had with Taalik. And Taalik, he was a good brother, but at the same time too, he was a victim to vanity because he got played out the nation. Because let me back it up. The reason they removed Taalik because he was dark skinned. If you notice the history of Nation of Islam, they don't like no representative that's dark skinned, bro. Like me or yourself, you got to be light skinned to appeal to people. So that's why Farrakhan got rid of Taalik. It ain't because of the Kent College shit. It was because he already used him enough to it's time for him to go. This is what they do. Taalik became a Black Panther and brought up in that because he wanted a vein in a position. I'm just gonna be honest.
Okay.
He wanted a position out of vanity. You know, he wanted to rule the crowd and a lot of things he did was right, and a lot of things that it was not logical in a sense, picking up the ideology of the Black Panthers, which was Black Panthers was nothing basically but a criminal organization. Just they have to be honest. Most people that was in the Black Power movement or the Black nationalists is known criminals. A lot of them end up getting numbers of years in the feds and the state prisons. Some of them was framed up and some of them was actually committing crimes. That's what they was doing in the name of Black Power.
Yeah.
Robin Banks and doing all this. It's just the reality of it. But Taalik aligned himself up in that. And, it's sad, the way he ended up going out and things like that, whatever. But he ended up getting buried in the same cemetery as Malcolm El Shabazz. 2 spaces down. You go see Malcolm X, you go see Taalik. The same cemetery in New York.
I didn't know that.
Now, yeah, that's an ironically part of it. Then you ask yourself, they say, well, did he follow in the footsteps of Malcolm? To an extent, kind of, but not all the way in it, because Taalik did a lot of stuff out of vanity. I'm just speaking the truth. I'm speaking my opinion on it. He did a lot of stuff out of vanity because he wanted a spot in a position. Like all of them do. Y'all been Yahweh to anybody that have been a part of these Black Power movements. They create their own movements and perpetuate the same systematic thinking amongst the people. Because they want to control and they want to set rules, they want to set criteria, and they want to get paid. The aim of the game is to get paid. Not to actually save Black people, is to get paid. That's it. That's an agenda down for them. All these people that create these organizations, Black Power organizations, is to get paid off the people.
Wow.
And get paid for doing these public lectures. They're not doing it for free. It's all the game set up. Whoever the best speaker, we're gonna get together, we're gonna financially, and this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna get paid from doing this. And maybe where they go, they're gonna ask you, they're gonna drop their Cash App, or they're gonna have their bucket going around. Because now you got Cash App and PayPal. So if you ain't got cash, you can send it to it direct to the account.
Sure will, yeah.
Yeah. Send it direct to the account, get the PO box and send the money order straight over to the spot where we can get it. Because we gonna help you, but it's helping them. It ain't helping you in no way.
No.
And it's no more a financial report. If you're giving money to any organization, it's supposed to be a financial report. I think you're supposed to get a financial report every month to see where your money is going. If the person really truthful, that's when you can tell if they're truthful or not. Because they will show you and they'll have Zoom meeting. They'll say, well, this is what organizations do in the world where business people, if you're giving money to an organization, they'll say, well, this is a percentage of what we done made. This is what we are investing in. This is what we are doing. This is where the money is going. And these organizations, they don't show people that. They just get your money for years and years and years, and you ask yourself where everything going. They tell you they don't know, they need more money. The salams in Chicago, don't you know that they got a tax lien on the restaurant in Chicago, the Salams restaurant? They lost that restaurant. They haven't paid taxes on the building in 8 years.
Damn. So
they got a padlock on it. They can't get in there. Now all that money people done raised, $3 million, whatever, to help get that, now it's gone down in the drain. But hey, you know, he happy for the people. You see what I'm saying? Money gone, a failed business venture. But that's nothing to be questioned. That's nothing to look at. That's just to keep on going, keep giving. That's not his job. That's on your job to do. If it's on me to do it, then I don't need nobody telling me what to do.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? If it's on me to do it, I don't need to be part of no organization to tell me or to try to give me structure on the move that I'm doing. If it's on me to do what I have to do for myself, I don't need no leader.
That's right.
And see, that's where I'm at in my life. Like, I'm okay to give people information, but it's not my job to tell people how to live their life and how to get toward the way how they want to live their life. Yes, it's not my job to tell people what type of dietary law to pass, what can happen, and all of it. Like, I made plenty posts about they saying like how to eat to live,
right?
But we haven't seen nobody live to be 200 years old in America that we know.
No.
Or 150.
No.
I told you the only oldest, but it's only 2 people I know that was in the Nation of Islam that lived to be over 100 was their brother, Lucius B.I., who died, I think, about 7 or 8 years ago, and her sister, Ruby Muhammad. She lived to be 100 plus. Other than that, then nobody else lived to be that. No different than people was eating. No different than people was eating a bad diet. It comes, you know, it comes down to a person's genetic pool. You know me, I don't eat the swine due to the fact of health reason, medical science, while it's bad for your health, but not for a religious purpose.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But if a person want to eat that diet, that's their choice. It ain't on me to try to tell you and tell somebody how to live their life. That's their own way. That's how they want to do.
Yes.
You know, because
what we have to do is, I mean, we just make, you know, give your opinion, give your advice, give your suggestions, but that's that person's life. I don't have nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
You know, just like somebody give me advice and I check it out. If I feel it's good for me, I'll embrace it. I don't need you to, well, you know, that pork is bad and the trichini worms and all like that. And also there's a lot of information about the pig, period. Now, back in the day, the trichini worm, all these things was true. But this is the reality of the swine. First of all, the swine is in the hippopotamus family. It's in the hippopotamus family, and the domesticated pig is a mix between the boar and the peccary, the wild pig. Those animals are not dirty animals. The reason why you see pictures of pigs and then you call them dirty, people put them in that situation. Which would happen to us or anybody, we get jailed and confined. But if you allow them to be free, you'll see a totally different animal. And as far as the trick-now worm is concerned, back in the day, they used to feed the hogs slop. And the slop be out there in the open, all kinds of bugs, flies laying eggs in the slop, and the pigs eat it or whatever. Of course, that transfers to the swine. But in modern day times, most pork now is grain fed. They're not slop. So you don't hear no incidents, you don't hear no cases of no trichnosis. So there's a lot of information, and there's a good video on YouTube where this guy broke it down. Where did this come from? Where did religion? Why was the pig chosen and not the chicken or a duck to be divinely prohibited? Where did this come from? And he broke it down. Where because most people so why do your religion actually teach you that? What is the real purpose of the science behind that? Except these little things about some trick-now worm and whatever. And my people, the average age of my people, they have died 85 years old. That's the average. And they ate a whole lot and then they didn't get sick until they actually got up in age, like 60, something like that. And they've been eating hog all their life, ever since the when they was born, ever since the 40s, 50s. No, well, my grandmother, that's the early 19th century. And my grandmother, they died in their 80s, up into their 90s. I just lost my granduncle. He was 99. So religious myths and stuff. Yeah, I'm sick. I'm tired of it. Look, I just want to get liberated. All this other individual, what you want to do stuff, y'all can handle it on your own. Because in the grand scheme of things, if you ain't liberated, it all don't mean nothing anyway. So what? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
bro. because you're a servant to the situation that you in. Like I say, that Black Power movement, pro-blackness is nothing but a victim madness crap. Yeah, just sit at the table with their old oppressor because that's what they want to. It's a crying thing, and they have embraced victimhood. Yes, that's the problem. Instead of making do with your situation and creating something out of it, like for instance, before Marcus Garvey, before Elijah Muhammad and all these other movements, you had when people got so-called free from chattel slavery in 1865, right? We seen a bloom in Black economics, and these slaves that were doing this with no education, when they came out being entrepreneurs and businessmen. With no leaders now, they created communities of economics. Yes. You see what I'm saying? They did it with no education, really like that much of that, but they had this fortitude to be a man and know that they had to stand on their own to do it. They ain't cry victim. Now you go to these times, people got all the education, know this and know that, but yet they crying victim. Yeah, we were systematic racism. Yeah, the Black Power, all that, because it's a victimhood. It's a victimhood mentality. Once you understand that, that's the whole scheme of the thing. It's really wanting to sit at the table with the person they so-called oppressor. If my enemy is my enemy, I don't want to sit at the table with my enemy. I know you my enemy. Why should I want a friendship with you? You definitely ain't a friend of mine, so I have to stay on my end. You stay on your end, and we stay out each other's way, and we can keep peace that way. But these people with the pro-black movement, that's not really the case. It's to infiltrate in their society, but act like they're not with their society. Like they quick to tell you, oh, you can't be thinking like that, brother. You trying to be in the devil's world. What is the devil's world? Ain't we all living in the same world? Then they say that we not of this, like the religious people use the term, we not of this world. What world are you of then? You breathing the same air I'm breathing. You wake up like I'm wake up, so what world are you of then? Let me know what world it is. Do we have to go out of space to get there? What do you mean by that term, you're not of this world? You know, when they use that term, like a brother said to me yesterday, he said, oh, how you gonna say that, man, about the minister, man? He don't got fight like the other man. He not a man of this world. What are you talking about? He not a man of this world. He wearing the finest suits. He driving them where he riding in the best of cars. What do you mean that he ain't a man of this world? Yeah. He the most vainest person that it is. So how can you say that he ain't a man of this world? What do you mean by that? Because what he's saying out his mouth? I bet he won't turn down no dollar you give him.
I know that's right. So
how you gonna say that he ain't a man of this world? If you're a man of this world, you gonna turn down things and reject it. So where does that logic come from? That's like some crazy thing when you hear them be saying that. I'm not of this world. What world are you of then? Planet on Mars, Pluto? Where you from? And I'm quite sure if it's existence on that planet, they got their own systematic of how they do things. I never been there to know what it is, but they probably got their own way of thinking what they do over there in that atmosphere. We are human mammals. We adapt to any situation of what we live in a form. That's what the human being does. We adapt to any situation that what we living in. Like the mandate they say about like this corona thing, you got to wear masks and stuff. Okay, if it's so bad, what about the people who don't live in domestication areas, who live off the land, the Aboriginal people, the people who live in the jungles, that don't walk around Hollywood with no clothes on? They ain't worrying about COVID.
Yeah.
But it's so bad. I'm saying it's just logical thinking. But they telling people who live in a domesticated society, you worry about this thing. You see what I'm saying? It's all a systematic game. Because we are taught to adapt to any situation that we're in. Like for example, like you had said on there that your parents, when your grandparents made it through the Depression.
Yeah.
The Depression in the 1930s up into the 40s, right? They lived there where they probably had kerosene lamps in it for light, and they had the wind blow, and they had everything. They were living without a worry in the camp because they was not living so much in a domesticated environment.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So if we come out of domesticated living and you go to live off the land, our needs are not going to be the same of people who live in a domesticated society because you done adapted to living off the land.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? We only adapt to any situation that we're in. So you have to learn how to adapt.
Yes, sir.
That's just like when a person get incarcerated, you have to do time in prison. You can't think like you in the outside world when you're doing time in prison. No, you can't. You gotta survive because you're in there. So you have to adapt to the situation where you're in. So that's why I'm saying any situation you're given in life, you have to adapt to survive. So we always have been a resilient people to adapt to any situation that was given to us. So we didn't need nobody to give us a so-called Black Power movement. Inferior, or the complex or whatever. Nobody can make you feel, first of all, supremacy comes within oneself. It don't matter what race that you are. When it comes down to it, it comes down to how you let another person dictate. If you let another person dictate how you live your life and what they can tell you what to do, you have became inferior to their ideology and their way of thinking.
Yes.
You have. So therefore, I don't let no other man dictate my life. So therefore, I'm remain in superiority because you're not going to dictate nothing for me. I may listen to what you say, but you're not going to have that power over my mind. So if I let you have the power over my mind, you have became a superiority over my mind and my thinking. See, that's what the people do in the Black Power movement. That's the game of it. When they get you to buy into their way of thinking, now they became a superiority over you and they make you feel bad for making certain decisions for your life. Oh man, don't do this or don't go drive a truck and go make no check or don't go do this, brother. Yeah, you working for the devil, man. Don't go do that. But they ain't finna give you nothing. You're dead, broken, hungry.
Nope.
They gonna laugh at you because you ain't got nothing to give them. You see what I'm saying? So one have to do what's best for their own situation to fit their needs. That's why we don't have no right to dictate to tell another man whatever situation they have to take. If a person got nothing but swine in their house to eat, I can't tell them don't eat no pork if they ain't got nothing else but to eat. If they gonna starve, you gotta eat what you gotta eat.
Yes, sir.
It don't me to tell them that. You understand what I'm saying? Whatever which way works for a person works for a person. We don't have that right to do that. That's why we are not messianic figures. First of all, the Messiah of messianic figures is nothing but fake fairy tale. Ain't no such thing as a Messiah or messianic figure to the world. That's nothing but fictitious stories and fairy tales.
Mm-hmm.
There's no one person gonna come around and save the whole world, and the whole world gonna be on their back. That's BS.
Mm-hmm.
People been dying for thousands and millions of years, and they no damn Messiah have came yet. They do nothing for them, so ain't nobody gonna save you but yourself.
Mm.
It just when you get into it, it's just a lot of psychological damage. That's all what it is, man, and it's sad. But I'm not gonna let my children fall victim to it, or my grandchildren to be my future grandchildren to be manipulated by these people.
Absolutely.
That's why in my household, I teach my children. I got 3 grown children and I got 2 children that's still young of age, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't give my children with religion. I give them choices and tell them about life. I don't try to instill the religion and what these things, what to do, whatever, because you're gonna get out in this world and you're gonna see things that work for you. I want you to take what you learn from me to apply it to your life. But as far as going out in this world, I'm not gonna give you no ideology of what I feel is right, because once a man come into a man or a woman come into a woman, they come into their own understanding of how they see life.
Mm-hmm.
That don't mean they're gonna be how they was raised, but they come into their own understanding.
Yes.
They can only be their own self, not me, even though they come from me. Right. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
I don't have no power over their lives. Like I tell people, right? Your legacy is your legacy. Your children do not have to live up to your legacy because they are not you.
Right.
You can't put that burden on them. Every individual have their own path and cross their own T's and dots in this life. You know what I mean? You can be proud of what your parents did, but you don't necessarily mean that you have to follow in their footsteps.
Yes, sir.
You know, some people, each his own, if a person want to do that, but I just don't believe it. That's just my philosophy. A child doesn't have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
To be entitled to that, because like a lot of people getting mad at Wallace and he been dead and gone 14 years, but they say, yeah, he sold out the nation. Listen, no, he didn't. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad was in $25 million worth of debt.
Mm.
He didn't pay taxes for them properties and buildings.
Uh-oh.
No logical man would sell off businesses. He was in tax debt because it did not have a 501c3.
Mm.
They let him go for so many years up until he died. When he died, it was a statement that he owed $25 million on tax lien on the business because they have not been paying taxes.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, he was making all that money and not reporting it into the government for so many years and accumulated. So when he died, that's when they came in and they took everything that he had. They seized the bank, they seized the properties, they seized all the properties that he had, the businesses, because of the money that he owed.
Yeah.
Wallace did not take no money. The money that Herbert Muhammad had, that was money he built on his own as being a boxing promoter with Muhammad Ali in the ring, the boxing promoting company that he had. That ain't come from the nation.
Mm-hmm.
Most of Elijah Muhammad money went in the probate court and it went to taxes.
Mm-hmm.
The government came in and took his money, took his properties because they say he owed money.
Mm-hmm.
Black and white don't lie. The IRS is the #1 gangster. You can't beat them. They're the #1. They know when you making money, you ain't paying your taxes, and when they coming, they gonna come for you.
Mm-hmm.
Lucky they didn't come for him when he was alive, because if he did, he would have put him in jail.
Mm.
Yeah, but he lost it. It became bankrupt because of he didn't pay taxes.
Mm-hmm.
Just like him now, but at the final call, Louis Farrakhan tells his people they tax exempt, they don't have to pay taxes.
Uh-huh.
That's what he telling them. That's why the businesses fail. Yeah, he say, no, you with the Messiah. You tell the devil you don't pay nothing. You don't pay no taxes.
Mm.
And they believe that. Because he lied He lied on the 1995 audit when he was audited in 1996 about the Million Man March proceeds. He claimed, I think he said he collected $90,000 or $100,000 from that meeting. That's a damn lie.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they had the Capitol Hill thing they had with them in 1996 when they was explaining about their resources. And they had the fat Leonard Farrakhan Muhammad up there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he the con man.
You know you're making some people angry.
I don't give a damn about these people, man. That's my job to make them angry because they making the black people angry.
That's right.
These people ain't stupid. I live in Florida and I live anywhere else. I done been anywhere else in the hood. These black people don't know nothing about no Elijah Muhammad, nothing about no Louis Farrakhan, nothing about that. All they know, they come to the neighborhood with papers and bean pies. But like I asked them, y'all have not came in a community and yet did a job fair giving people jobs. Y'all have not did none of that.
Right.
All y'all came with prosperity pimping. Y'all ain't fitting nobody's needs. Y'all inviting people to a Sunday meeting.
Mm-hmm.
But they ain't helping me if I'm homeless. You take me to a meeting one day and I'm going back to the shelter. That ain't helping me. At least have a job fair I can go to. I can get a job where I can help myself change my condition. They ain't trying to do that.
Mm-hmm.
See, if you're going to have solutions for the people, you got to have solutions for the people. But don't put yourself out there saying you for the people. And you're not serving the people. People going to always be mad when you tell them the truth.
Yes, sir.
A pretty lie is pleasing to the ears than the ugly truth.
No doubt.
It just like when we was young and your parents would give you the cold medicine, Father John. It was so nasty. It was good to heal you because it was good. It wasn't like the sweet tasting medicine that didn't do nothing for you. But the Father John had a nasty taste, but it one that did something for you. So when if somebody bringing you the truth, you may not like it, but it'll save you in the end. Because a lie will always be fashioned to be good to your ear. A lie always gonna be good to tickle your ear because it's a lie.
Yes, sir.
And a liar gonna always be deceptive because one thing about the truth never sings. A lie, you gotta always change a lie every time it comes up, but you always gotta add on to it.
That's right.
The truth will always stand alone because it's the truth. And the thing is, people have been lying. They ain't been truthful about it.
Yes, sir.
No, all of us are perfect. None of us is perfect. We all done lied at one point in our lives, but when it comes to the point of you going amongst and misleading people, thousands and thousands of people, that's very damnable. Because people putting their trust in you.
Yes, sir.
And you lying and misleading them, and they have not seen no results. I'm speaking with the people who feel this way, but who's scared to say it. I got nothing to lose because they ain't doing nothing for me financially anyway.
Right.
They can't stop me in life with what I'm saying. They can't do nothing to me. They don't have no power.
Mm-hmm.
I can say what I want to say.
That's right.
They can get mad if they want to get mad. They don't have no power to do nothing.
I don't know. They
can be
violent. Now. They can be violent.
Yeah, they could be violent. They could be violent, and I could be violent too. We both could be violent. But the thing is about it, you can't be violent with nobody that knows your playbook and how y'all move. That's a difference. I know the ins and outs of how they move, so yes. I'll be more of a threat to them than they is to me because they won't be able to be expecting it. Yes. I'm in civilian clothes. They dress and sharp. They looking a certain type of way.
Mm-hmm.
You see, understand what I'm saying? So they could be, they got a history of being violent, towards black people. That's it. Yeah.
Yes, they do.
They try to shut you up for telling the truth. Of course they would try that. But then again, they ain't gonna try that going to. They're not gonna go to no GEDs, no folk nation, none of them with that crap they saying because they will put bullets in their behind.
Sure will.
These young cats out there ain't caring nothing about no heifer, wild, no fruit, or none of that, man. They'll show them how much the fruit they is. They don't see that. First of all, the nation don't even got that much respect no more like they had back in the day. People not terrified of them.
No.
You got, to be honest with you, you got people in that community, you got, and it's just my opinion on being honest, you got closet homosexuals and all that stuff over there, man, and lesbians, man. Because it's in every religion, and it's over there too.
Of course.
That's why they love men so much. And you got to ask yourself, did men love their leader more than their wife and their children?
I can't do it. I can't do it, brother. I can't do it. I thought about that, what you just said.
Yeah.
I took down all the men's picture in my house. I put nothing but female. I'm like, what? Because I started thinking to myself, as a male, why I want to look at hard legs all the time like that?
Yeah.
I don't even want to look at myself. I took my own pictures down. I put pictures of my favorite women's group, EnVogue, and I got my mother and my sister. I took all the men pictures down. I'm like, that's made me feel sort of, and even when I was in the Nation of Islam, I'm like, I couldn't handle being around men all the time like that. I usually did everything I could to get LGBT all the time. I can't work with men like that. I mean, brothers as brothers, you know, there's male things that you want to do, blah, blah, blah. But 24 hours a day and constantly, and then your God is a man, and you putting these pictures of Farrakhan and Elijah, nothing but men. I'm like, I can't do this. It's too much dingling for me swinging. I can't do it, man. I can't do it. Too much dangling swinging. Then they turn around and talk about homosexuality. I said, brother, how you gonna talk about homosexuality when the only thing you got on your wall is men? Elijah Muhammad, Farrakhan, Malcolm, whoever, Marcus Garvey. Where the women at? Where Harriet Tubman, Sojourner Truth, Fannie Lee? There's a whole lot of women out there that you could put. Hell, Ava Muhammad, she's still alive. She's out there doing her thing in the nation. You know, it's nothing but men. I can't do it. Sorry, I can't do it. Yeah, but just keep rolling, brother Khalil. Keep doing your thing.
Yeah. I'm saying it's just a reality. Like I tell people, it exists in all major 3 religions. It's no different.
Yeah.
What's happening there? You got pedophilia, homosexuality, lesbianism, carnality, everything. It exists in all 3 major religions. There's no different.
Yes, sir.
What's happening about it? You have to be careful in awareness of that. It just that the difference between that and people who living out the life they want to live, it's being masked in the religion. It's there, but it's being masked through a religion. They wearing a mask like the day Halloween. They wearing a Halloween mask,
right?
In the religion, till you can't see it until you come out of that religious mind. If you view it from religious mind, you're gonna be always blind to things. That's what religion does. You can never see nothing truthfully when you're looking at something from a religious mind state. That's why I had to reprogram myself and emancipate myself mentally out of a religious mind.
Yes, sir.
Because long as you view it from religion, you will get offended because what religion does, it affects you emotionally. You become emotionally attached to things. That it doesn't have to be truth. You just believing in something so hard till it makes you emotionally attached to it, and you will act out on your feelings violently because of it.
Good point.
Or you'll be hating people about something that they ain't never did nothing to you because the religion done put in you to hate people. Then when you wake up out of the sleep in the dreams that I was really that bad, I was actually hating a person. Like I had to wake up out of my mind for years I was hating Malcolm and viewing Malcolm as a hypocrite and viewing all this and that until I came out of the religious mind and say, this man ain't did a damn thing to me.
Yes, sir.
He died before I was even born. What could he did to anybody else because of what he did, a misunderstanding that sure enough he shouldn't have said nothing about Kennedy, but that was just one of Malcolm's weaknesses. He liked to speak. And they knew that he was gonna say something. But they don't neglect the fact that somebody that's doing what they did. That's why I say both men was wrong in that situation. Malcolm shouldn't have said what he said about Kennedy because black people felt the way they felt about him. And Elijah shouldn't have been creeping around, sleeping with women and not being openly about it.
Right. That's right.
You remember when it's war, when you beefing with somebody in this war and you making somebody feel the way, once somebody know your business, they gonna put it out if you coming for them. That's just obviously common sense.
That's right. I'm going through it right now. Try to.
Yeah. If somebody know what you doing and you keeping something a secret that you know that you ain't being truthful about, of course you're gonna feel the way about it. Because you gotta protect your public image.
Yes, sir.
And that's what he did, protected his public to protect his public image. It was not nothing divine about that. Now, it's nothing wrong if a man want to have as many women as he want to have. That's your choice if you want to do that. But at least be honest about it. Don't try to mask it and act like it ain't that and it's that.
Uh-huh.
Because keeping it a secret ended up hurting his legacy more than it made his legacy better.
That's right.
That's what really did. He hurt himself more by not being truthful about the situation than instead of being truthful about it.
Mm-hmm.
Leaving up to other people to explain it. That's why if somebody want to know, that's why I live my life as a man with an open book. I ain't got no secrets. Anything I did because I ain't got nothing nobody can use against me. You want to know something about me, I would discuss it openly with you. Because I can explain it while I'm alive, whatever I done did. I don't need nobody else to say it after I'm gone.
Yes, sir.
That's the thing, because people, as long as people know you live a secret lifestyle, they're gonna use that against you and bring it when y'all fall out. You gotta be careful because like the old saying, teeth and tongue always fall out. So you fall out with somebody, a person know what you're doing, and you know it ain't really right what you're doing, you gotta expect it to be exposed.
Mm-hmm.
And how you gonna deal with the backlash once it come out? Like my grandma always told me, say whatever you do in the dark, son, gonna always come to the light. So be careful what you do. So anything you can't do in the public, don't do behind closed doors.
Uh-huh.
Cause you say you'll never know when it'll be revealed. And cause both my family, my ancestors came from the Caribbean and stuff, right? Okay. And I remember my grandfather used to say that, son, the ears, he used to say the bushes got eyes and ears. So if you think somebody see what you're doing, they always see what you're doing. Whatever you think they ain't, people always paying attention. So if you live in life a far away, don't be surprised if you think you hiding, eventually it's gonna come out. And see, that's the problem. When it came out, people had to make up all these lies and these different campaigns to try to cover the tracks. The same woman that was considered hoes in the Muhammad's peace ended up actually did having children by him. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
See what sense that making to the truth just got to be done. The truth would have solved this situation. It wouldn't have been no rift. It's something that Malcolm said that, but if the truth would have been brought out, it's nothing that Malcolm could have did no more to say nothing about the situation because it would have been addressed already.
Right.
Now, mind you, he said that I would respect him. Malcolm said now in an interview, I would respect him if he was a man enough to say the truth that he did. Remember, he did an interview when he was coming out the courthouse when he was going through the probate about the house. He said that I would respect Elijah Muhammad if he was a man enough to say, yes, I did follow these children. Yes, they are my children. Yes, this is what it is. But yet denying it, that's what said made him totally disrespect him, have no respect for him.
Right.
After the truth was brought out to you, you still want to deny the truth, even though the truth is already out there. There's no sense but to address the situation. Unless you're trying to hide something. See, if you can't be honest with yourself, you can't be honest with nobody. That's the rule of if you got to lie to yourself, you can't be truthful with nobody. Self-truthfulness comes within self. Like me, I had my time dealing with the Nation of Islam until I started saying that this man here is a white man and Farad is white. Why is I making myself psychologically believe that he's black and he's white? I'm lying to myself and I'm lying to people. I'm lying to myself. I know that he's not black. But I'm making myself believe that he is. That's psychological manipulation.
Yes, sir.
Trying to come out of here and really see that I'm lying to myself, and I feel bad to the people I lied to and try to propagate to that. If I could do it all over again, I would apologize to them and tell them I shouldn't try to bring you this way, man, because I feel wrong for telling people something that kind of not to be true.
Yes, sir.
That's a hurtful feeling, telling people, spreading the information you believe in something to be true, then you find out it's not true. That hurt you when you was bringing people to something.
Yes, sir.
Then people looking at you like you crazy, you telling them that, yeah, this is my God right here on the picture. Then people looking at, yeah, that's a white man. What are you talking about? He's black. He was made to appear to look this way.
Yeah, okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
It's all psychological. Once we learn how powerful words and manipulation is and being indoctrinated into a cult way of thinking, you understand that manipulation and reprogramming through religion it's a cause of why we're in the condition of today. We done been indoctrinated with a doctrine. And leaving one religion to go to another religion ain't helping you.
No, it's not.
Because all I have learned through my studies that all religious people is the same. No. I have learned through my study that all religious people is the same, and no matter what religion that they're in. No one is better than another one.
Nope.
They think that they are, but it ain't no difference. Like I told this brother on my Facebook page, he was arguing with another brother. This Christian brother named, I think his name, Vincent Ferguson. He was talking about Jesus Christ and all this stuff. He a Pentecostal Christian, and his brother named Kevin Ali, he trying to straighten him because he followed the messenger teachings. He trying to straighten him with the word and stuff. I was saying, brother, stop trying to pick on the Christian brother when you just as the same as him.
That's right.
You think that you're not, but you just the same as him. Both of y'all believing in fairy tales. You know different than him, but you think that you different than him because you got a greater understanding of the scriptures, but you don't. Matter of fact, a Christian and an Orthodox Muslim, well, Muslim that follow Islam, to all actuality, they make more sense than somebody saying a God is true and living, but you don't know where he at. He been going off the scene since 1934. Okay, this is another thing we're gonna get in. We're gonna talk about Farad. Okay, Farad, he's supposed to be the supreme being. Okay, why do he have to hide for the FBI and the law enforcement? And they made him leave out of town. How can you lock up the supreme being God? How can you? Let's be logical now. When you have the power to destroy them and change their mind, they wouldn't be able to do nothing to you.
Right.
How can they order you out of town? They was given in a book. It was a book by this brother named I think A.D. King, Dr. A.D. King. It was a police report in Detroit when you know about the ritual murder of a brother named Robert Kareem happened in 1932.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, they took Farad and him down to the police station to investigate him for the murder of the brother, the ritual murders.
Yeah.
And he admitted that it's a con that I'm giving to black people. I'm conning black people. He told authorities that. It's a con. This is what Farad said. It's a con. This whole thing what I'm doing is a con. I'm just doing it to make black people feel good. This is what he told the authorities. This public record. all this time he told authorities he was supreme being. That ain't true. He told authorities when he was in there, he said that it was a con game that he was running to make black people feel good. To his credit, he brought an antidote, and it was a good psychological therapy that he brought to black people at that time.
Yes, sir.
But to go that far and what people went on, that's something else of what he did. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But he ain't been off the scene almost 90 years. He been gone.
Yeah.
So we don't know where he's at. We don't. Matter of fact, he could have been buried already.
Mm-hmm.
Done had the funeral buried over there already. But I say to be technical with you, the Christians and the Jews and the Orthodox Muslims, they make more sense saying they believe in a God as a spirit than you saying a God is true and living and you gonna know where he at. My God is true and living God. He gonna go destroy your miracle. Where is he at? You don't know his location, so how he's gonna do something? He's no different than nobody believing in a God in the sky.
Can I interrupt you just a second while you on this topic right here? And maybe you have heard this before, but Khadijah, I think that was Muhammad Ali's first wife, Khadijah.
Yeah.
She said that Muhammad Ali asked the messenger because Muhammad had asked about Master Farad Muhammad, and he asked the messenger about Master Farad Muhammad, and he told Muhammad Ali, "You want to meet him?" I said, "What?" And Elijah Muhammad told him where to go, and this is the man. She said she met Master Farad Muhammad. Her and Muhammad Ali, they met this man.
Oh, Muhammad Abdullah.
Huh?
Muhammad Abdullah.
I guess is what his name was, but
yeah. You know what? You know what? I know Sister Khadijah Ali.
Okay.
Yeah. See, you know what? To be honest with you, Muhammad Abdullah was an imam in Oakland, California, right? That's where he came, right? But he's from Pakistan or whatever. What he did, the same origin in a lot of. He spoke 16 different languages, just like Farad did after 10, right?
Yeah.
He understood the language of the birds, right? They said it was his birthday, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was in February, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was people sitting around. It was Wallace. It was Muhammad Ali. Everybody sitting around. He said, "You know what I'm gonna tell you?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "Yeah, that he's Farad." But he came back as Muhammad Abdullah with a beard and everything. He said, "You know why he denied it?" When in an interview, he said he denied it because he didn't want people asking him so many questions.
Right.
That's why he denied it in the interview. But he admitted to them that he was Farad Muhammad Abdullah.
Mm-hmm.
He admitted that he was that.
Okay.
Yeah, he Muhammad Abdullah died 2001 or 2002, something like that. He was buried. He was buried. He admitted that, and he had his family that he admitted that to them. But he said he wouldn't admit it in opening to people because he didn't want people running to him asking them questions and questions.
Well,
he came back in his country.
He's the God who would want, you find out this is the God that you talking about.
Yeah.
I want some questions. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but he came back, he had a beard.
Elijah Muhammad himself.
Yeah. Because he came, matter of fact, when Elijah Muhammad died, Muhammad Abdullah, aka Farad Muhammad, came to the janazah, the funeral, right? So it was people wouldn't let him in. They were saying, like, who is this white man coming in and all this stuff, whatever. Yeah. The people who knowed him and the voice and understood him, the messenger's brother, Supreme Minister John Muhammad, different people, they said, yeah, he come and know who he is. They said, yeah. Then he said, yeah, that's my he said, yeah, that's my spiritual son. If anybody supposed to be here, I'm supposed to be here. And the people thought he was crazy.
Yeah.
Because he know that when he did Elijah, he said, that's his spiritual son. He said, if anybody supposed to be here, I'm supposed to be here. But Supreme Minister John Muhammad and them knew that was him. They knew that they was him because they knew how he talking, how he sound.
Yes.
Nobody else can identify him because if you wasn't in that time, you wouldn't really know how he talked.
Right.
With the accent that he had, you wouldn't know him. You wouldn't know his mannerism. You just going by his state stories, but they was around the man enough to know that. Now, if the messenger children, that the messenger oldest son that used to cut his hair, and his daughter that used to feed Master Farad Muhammad said that was him, can't nobody else deny that. But if next year I'm gonna try to say no, that ain't the truth. That they said that was the man was coming to their house when they was a child. Because Wallace, as a matter of fact, that's who who Wallace was named after.
Right.
Because remember, the legend told that he told Elijah that you can't teach him. He said only I'll have to come back and teach him. He has a special assignment. That's why it made sense that he went. That's why it made sense he went back over there with Wallace now. You see what I'm saying? Then when he came back, people wouldn't know. Of course, people were gonna deny and say, "No, that ain't him or him." But if you take off the beard, if Muhammad Abdullah would have shaved his beard, you can see the features of him and Farad. That's the same person. It's just that he came back with gray hair and he had a gray beard. He have aged since then.
Yes.
That was 26. He left in 1934 and he came back around 1960. That was 26 years. You understand what I'm saying? So that's 26 years in difference. Of course, he gonna look older. He done age within that time. And they didn't have technology like they have now to say, oh, that's him. It was easy to evade the feds in that time. Because they didn't have cameras, they didn't have technology how they have now.
Yeah.
Now, these days and times, you couldn't get away with doing that. But back then, yeah, you could slip into this country under a different alias and they wouldn't know who you are. You a whole nother person now. Yeah, I seen when Omar Shabazz did the production. Omar Shabazz spoke about it.
Yes, sir.
He did the interview and things like that. And a lot of things, see, they try to put Omar Shabazz as a that he's a quote unquote Nation of Islam hater or Elijah Muhammad hater. I don't believe that he's so much of that. I believe that people don't want to deal like within the truth.
Yes, sir.
Because he had Lance Shabazz on that documentary. You know, brother Lance Shabazz?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's the one who wrote the book, The Blood, Sweat, and Tears, My Life in the Nation of Islam. He broke down and cried and said that he was a part of a cult growing up.
Wow.
When he looked at it, he said he grew up in the Nation of Islam. When he looked back at his life, he was raised in a cult and he didn't know no better.
Yes, sir.
Once he came to the understanding that he was living in a cult way of thinking. It was good for productive for people, but it was a controlled environment.
Yes, it was.
Because the Nation of Islam is a dictatorship.
Sure is.
It's not no thinker. You can't be a creative thinker because you would think any different, you consider a hypocrite.
That's right.
Because you got to go with the leadership thing. You don't think when the leadership think you a hypocrite. That's right. Simple as that. You question anything, you're a hypocrite. You know more than the deposit. No, you don't know more. You're the hypocrite. Yeah, and they want to use the scripture and support this and support that and say this and say this about you by using the scripture.
Yes, sir.
A lot of people don't claim and say who they was and who they are with the scripture. You know? First off, when we get on the topic of Islam, the religion of Islam, the esoteric version of Islam is Sufism. Now, they say that they was practicing Sufism, the ancient Sufi priests in ancient Kemet or Nubia in that area, but the Islam that was spreading through Africa was due to colonization and slavery and indoctrination. Because the original people didn't need nobody telling them who to pray to and what to do. The slave Bilal, peace and blessing be upon him. He was speaking about the law. He was speaking about doing things before Prophet Muhammad Ibn Abdullah even so-called free him from slavery. He understood the concept of God and different doing things before the indoctrination of Islam. They brought up on people. And Islam was an indoctrination brought upon black people in Africa, and it spread amongst the people. And see, how can somebody that came from the East, from Pakistan, give you Islam that came from an Eastern perspective, but you giving you Islam in an unorthodox version, but you bringing a new Islam against it? No, you just reversing the religion around. That's it. But see, the whole indoctrination of the Nation of Islam is based off Christianity, Freemasonry, in a so-called form of Islam. Because it's religion, but it's all that mixed in it too. Because the name honorable and things all like that, that is Masonic calling. That's not in Islam. If you study the religion, there's nobody called honorable. That's Mason doctrine. Then when you look at the fact when you say by Elijah Muhammad had a third grade education, no, he was a third degree Mason. See, he wasn't no foolish man when Farad met him. The man had the capability of running, doing things, but he did have a alcoholism problem that he helped clean them up. But besides him having a mind, he wasn't a literate man. He had intelligence. He know how to do different things. He wasn't just, how would he know to recognize what he's doing and Farad to put that in his ear if he didn't have no knowledge? How would he know? Okay, you take a man that have a third grade education, you teach them for 3 years, then you leave, then he go to the Library Congress in Washington, D.C. to read 104 books. How would you know how to read that if your level of education is on your third grade? You don't know nothing. That means you had already had some level of intelligence. Even go sort out that. All he did was inform you, but you went and search on your own. That's simple. See, it's a lot of layers when you look at the situation. I ain't gonna say everything he did was all bad. It was good, but you have good and you have bad in anything.
Yes, sir.
I respect the good that he did, but it was bad too. But in his time, that's all that black people knew.
Right.
Was religion and indoctrination. So in that time, it served its purpose. Now, that don't serve a purpose.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
And plus, the morality of people was different back then. People had the society was based on more. People were more moral people then. This world is a filthy cesspool now. So
yeah,
nobody is ashamed about shit now.
Nope, nothing.
Nothing. So it's no sense of trying to shield things and act like it ain't happened when it's happening and everything now. It just a crying shame.
Yes, sir. Wow.
But the main objective of all what I'm saying is that psycho manipulation. That's all what it is. Indoctrination and cult leadership. Anybody calling themselves a messiah is a cult leader. Out to destroy your life and get your money.
Absolutely.
It don't matter. I'm not just pointing fingers at just the Nation of Islam. I'm talking about any religious leader, any religious doctrine. They out to get your money. The mega churches, all of them.
Yeah.
You're no different. They go ride off in they nice cars, and half of the congregation even got cars. They cashing the public service to get there, transportation service to get there, and probably have money to pay for Uber or Lyft because they don't have the money to do it. But they scramble their money to put money in the collection plate every Sunday for a preacher.
Yeah.
I'm attacking all religious leaders, not just the nation. Because I'm anti-religion, period. None of it's no good.
None of it.
See, they just think the people in the nation just think, oh, I'm just focused. No, I'm not focused on them because they're not the minority. They doing it, but they're not the stronghold in America. The stronghold in America is the Judeo-Christian society, which is the church system. They have the stronghold on the people because that's who more people follow. In America, mainly black or white people, most black people identify with Christianity. You know, I see somebody say, "Don't let the smooth talk fool you." Yeah, that's true. Well, a lot of us get caught up in that stuff that tickle our ear, the entertainment. We just can't get caught up when people are being entertained and there's no solution, like you said, to the problem.
Yes, sir.
Yes, anybody can give you something to make something sound good to smooth it out, but you got to see what comes about what they're doing. That's the difference. And nobody gave no real solution within that time. You know, all the leaders did nothing but give people feel good rhetoric. That's it.
That's it.
Every last one of them. That's why I say there's no black leadership no more.
Mm-hmm.
Only people can save us is ourselves. That's it. There's no more black leadership to look to.
No.
I know some people don't want to hear that. They believe that it is, but it's not. Like a brother gonna say, yeah, we gonna tell people from black people, we gotta lift the Farrakhan, man. You trying to lead people away from the minister. How leading people away from the minister when he got more days shorter in front of him than he do behind him?
That's right.
That's just realistically what can an old 88-year-old man do? What you expect him to be getting on the roster at 100 years old, talking what he talking? He just I seen he did something, whatever, at a church or something like that, but he's an old 88-year-old man.
Yeah.
Probably scared to come out for COVID and all that stuff, man. He's an old man. He will go down as a civil rights all-star. He done prove his legacy. That's it. That's the only thing he got to really work for. There's nothing else he can really do. He just a civil rights law all-star.
Yeah.
He the last of that. He the last of the Mohicans.
Yeah. Him, Jesse, and Al, them guys.
Well, Jesse, well, really, Al Sharpton, he born 1954, so he ain't really, he wasn't.
Oh, okay.
Really,
I didn't know he was that young.
He was too, yeah. He's 67, so okay. He really wasn't part of the civil rights movement. He was growing up in it, but he wasn't actually old enough to be fighting on the front line. Now Jesse is, but Jesse's sick from the COVID. He took the COVID vaccine, and he's in a nursing home.
Wow.
Yeah, learning how to walk again and everything, Jesse. But
learning how to walk again at his
age. But yeah, he had a bad reaction to the COVID vaccine. He was hospitalized, and he had to end up being in a rehab center.
You remember his son got in trouble a few years ago, buying some unauthorized. I think he was buying some unauthorized Michael Jackson pieces or something. I forgot. It was something he was buying. And he went to jail, did a little jail time over there. His son.
Yeah, he went to the feds. You talking about the one who was a politician?
Yeah, Jesse Jackson Jr.
You talking about his son as a politician, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He did like 3 years in the feds.
He did 3?
Yeah. Yeah, him and his wife was they had a little payola scheme going on. And the wife got probation and he went to prison. Yeah.
Wow.
He was in politics.
So I would like to ask you, brother, what is your background? How did you get started? Was you raised in the Black Power movement, or how did you get involved, or
well, basically, I'm gonna say sort of, raised in the Black Power movement. My family was in the nation. You know, I grew up knowing about like different consciousness and things like that or whatever. You know, and I started getting involved in the conscious community back in 1989. That's when I so-called supposed to got knowledge of self or accepted my own to be myself.
Okay.
At a young age, I was like probably about 12, 13 years old. For the past 30 years, 32 years, I've been on this journey. You know, ups and downs, and battling with the religious community, man. I done been involved with Orthodox Islam. I done studied all the three major religions that it is on the earth, different things, till I came up to the point that all religions is all the same.
Yes, sir.
It's no different. And I mean, when I was in the nation, I was hardcore, a teacher and hardcore soldier trying to do what I thought was right until I found out they was all manipulation.
Yes, sir.
And that was a hurting feeling when I found out that I was dedicating my time to an unworthy cause. And when I realized that there is life outside of that, because it will have you so indoctrinated till they believe that your life will be affected if you leave the community. You can't survive. You can't do this. This will happen to you. You're gonna go crazy. You're gonna be punishment, man.
Yeah,
you know, so they make you believe that.
Become a crackhead.
Yeah, anything, and come to find out that ain't even true.
No.
But being religious and indoctrinated, you believe that. Like,
you know, unfortunately, that has happened to some brothers. They leave the religion or whatever. Next time you see them, they done fell all apart. You know, they on drugs and got a long beards. I'm like, what the hell happened to you?
What happened to them, because I see that they don't get broke down because they don't dedicate all their resources and their time to a situation, and that ends up affecting them. That they found out they don't dedicate their time to bullshit, and now the reality, the effects of that, what they done did, they can't cope with it, and they go to the drug.
Wow. Yes, I have. Matter of fact, even Farrakhan himself, you know, once that start falling down, you know, he talked about how he went back out into the world and he started drinking, smoking, and, you know, cheating on his wife and all that kind of good stuff. And this is what I don't understand. Now, this man is so weak. Okay, just because the nation fall, you've been under this lifestyle and whatever for so long. How can you just go back and start drinking and smoking and whoremongering? How can you just do that just because your leader died?
It's because that, like I say, every man deals with their own vices. It's just that when Elijah Muhammad was alive, he couldn't act on the things that he really wanted to do.
Yeah.
So it's easy to use the excuse of saying Elijah Muhammad gone, I'm going to go ahead and do this, but it's something that you want to do anyway because it's already in you. Yeah. You just had to keep that oppressed. And it's easy to use Elijah Muhammad. Once Elijah Muhammad was dead and gone, he had nothing to do with it. That's something that he wanted to do.
Yes, sir.
And I mean that he was having relations with Lola Falana. I heard he had children with her. He had a relationship with the singer Stephanie Mills. You know the singer Stephanie Mills?
Yeah.
He has a child from her.
Oh, so
Minister Farrakhan?
That probably explains why she's so, you know, she's such a Farrakhan cheerleader.
I can't hardly hear you, bro. It's technical difficulty.
Oh, is it? Can you hear me?
You sound kind of muffled. Sound muffled now.
I don't know, something going on. I don't know.
I hear you. I hear you now. I hear you good now.
Okay,
I was saying that he had a relationship with the singer Stephanie Mills.
Yeah. I was saying.
Yeah, he has a child from her.
Yeah, I was saying. Oh, it look like it's something having technical difficulties on his side. It's going out a little bit. Yeah, we're having technical difficulties here, and he's gone. It was on his side. Okay, he'd come back again. We was doing so good. Now all of a sudden, because everything looked fine on my side. Are you there, brother? No, we don't see him. We don't see him. Trying to come back in. Man, we've been doing good. Now, all of a sudden, having technical difficulty. I guess they too got tired of this brother was breaking it all down, just verifying, and a lot of the things that we say here from my own experience and what Brother Taalik has experienced. Technical difficulty. It looked like it's on his end because I'm not having no problems at all on my side at all. My internet service is looks good, strong. It must be it's his side. Well, I guess this is what we'll do. We're going to try to wait and see if that brother can come back. Brother Taalik. Brother Taalik. Brother Taalik. Everybody gone.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah.
Yeah.
That brother's having technical difficulties. I'm going to wait a while and see if we can get him back on. Did you want to elaborate or say something until he gets back?
Yeah, I could do that.
Okay.
Yes. Well, from what I've said and heard, I basically knew some of that stuff that was going on with Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam in terms of his, not fidelity, but his what you call that, when you go behind your wife back and
yeah, infidelity,
infidelity, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I heard that he had an affair with Melba Moore.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up.
15, yeah, he had gave her like $50,000 because she was in financial debt.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so, it's definitely, apparent that all this evidence has came out about him, but you got those who still follow him that's too blind to see that, and that want to justify it because they look at him as some type of kind of divine savior. See?
Yes.
So when you have that type of mentality, then that means that your tunnel vision is closed off because you can't see, outside of what's really going on,
so that means you remain being subject to being used and abused in the hood with.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And see, that's a new revelation I heard about Elijah Muhammad being in debt prior to his death. See?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
I didn't either.
But it's like when you think about these things, and you see what's going on, you realize that this was a whole sham all the time. And it's evident to see. Billions of dollars has passed through that organization hands.
Right.
We supposed to have a nation, a government behind us, land. We ain't supposed to be dependent on a white man for that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what they teach, right?
Absolutely.
Well, where's your banking institution that you were supposed to have? Your hospitals, you know? Where's your government? Where's your commerce? You know what I'm saying? Where's all that that you was talking about? According to your economic plan, your 3-year economic plan, where's all that? See, so this leaves open for questions, and this is why people need to open up their eyes as well as their minds to see that, hey, you've been shifted and shafted. You've actually been shafted. Now you walking around here with holes in your shoes, broke, pay your rent, can't even pay your rent, about to be evicted, or you getting EBT or Medicaid, while Farrakhan up in the mansion in Chicago, sipping on poppy, Perrier, who knows what else,
Yeah.
Let him tell it. He don't drink alcohol, but hey, who knows,
That's right.
Eating caviar, living off the land like a fat hog, you know what I'm saying? But and his family ain't got to worry about wanting for nothing. You see what I'm saying? But all them other people up under them that followed him, they struggling. You know what I'm saying?
True that.
Some of them probably in the shelter, in a homeless shelter somewhere right now in the country. And ain't getting no kind of help from Farrakhan or that organization. Because remember, Farrakhan said that's not a social service, right?
That's right.
So where do the donation for the poor come in at then? What they call that?
The number 2 poor?
Yeah, the number 2 poor. Yeah, so what was all that for then? Yeah, so that could go to Farrakhan's pockets.
That's what number 2 poor is for, to take care of him.
Yeah, exactly. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, the number 2 poor. Yeah, so what's all that for? So this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. And people still keep going for this craziness. You see what I'm saying? And the organization I called myself following behind, and the Wahabians, they wasn't no different. But see, the Nation of Islam was more organized than they were. You see what I'm saying? That's why the Wahabians didn't last effectively long like the Nation of Islam did, because they wasn't as calculatedly organized like they was to do the things they were doing in the ways that they were using the people. You see what I'm saying? But if Malachi Z. York had that more stronger, firm organization type of way of handling things before he got locked up, like Elijah Muhammad did, he'd have been doing the same thing right now. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If he would have been out of prison. See, so, you know, this is the thing. You know that. But see, the fact of the matter was he was too stupid. You see what I'm saying? That's why he got took down like he did and got all his assets snatched up by the government. Whereas Elijah Muhammad died, then that's when they came in and got his assets. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But eventually it would have happened either way had he remained alive or dead. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because they was going to get it from him anyway. You know, but the fact was it took a little longer because he wasn't as headstrong and out of control as Dr. Malachi York was. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because see, Dr. Malachi York was into so much other stuff, including child molestation, human trafficking, and you know, and all that kind of stuff. You see what I'm saying? So it was quite a little different there, you know, with them two. But however, you know, I would say that, you know, yeah, you know, the question is all the properties that the nation had under Farrakhan, you know, that went, you know, that ended up becoming fruitless.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because I remember in Detroit, they had a restaurant right next door to their local mosque there. They had to shut that down. They had a bookstore where they were selling books and tapes at. They had to shut that down. I think they had a clothing store there too, where people would come buy suits and stuff. They had to shut that down, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So anything that Farrakhan had as far as business adventures going, they had to shut that down. Look at what happened with the Salam restaurant over and over in Chicago. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You see, so, I mean, that's just the indication that these people was not about building no nation. From the get up, it was all about, you understand, scheming and conning people. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So, I mean, you know, and you know, even when I got to the point when I was at a crossroads, you know, struggling with whether I wanted to remain a part of Dr. Malachi York's ideology or go over to the Nation of Islam's ideology during the periods of times when I was processing under Farrakhan's organization, you know, something in me was speaking consciously wise. You know, my conscience was speaking to me like, you know, you wasting your time, you know? Because I remember a pastor had actually confronted a brother who I was out in the field with, you know, selling final call papers with, a brother who was recruiting me. And this was in Lexington, Kentucky, and the pastor actually confronted the brother and said, when the brother was trying to sell him a final card, and pastor said, y'all ain't doing nothing but using people, you know? And I just stood there. I didn't say nothing. I just stood there and watched, you know? And I'm like, wow, you know? And so, you know, I mean, people seen through the BS, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely apparent, you know? And we also, I remember we approached another brother, and he happened to be a boxing trainer. Matter of fact, a former professional boxer was a trainer. And he told us both, he said, everybody got a game. You know, this is a Christian brother, by the way, though, but he said, everybody got a game. He said, but I'm going to just keep believing in my Jesus, basically. But he kept saying, repeating that everybody got a game. And I seen basically through what he was saying at the time. Because I was getting even kind of frustrated with the situation anyway, you know. So, you know, in the whole nutshell, even along with when I was dealing with trying to become a part of that other faction organization in the nation called the United Nations Islam, which is now known as the Bayou Creators, you know what I'm saying, in Kansas City, Kansas. You know, they had me working in a building, you know, in they building properties where they was doing renovation on building properties and stuff, and had us working all day and wouldn't do nothing but give us one meal a day, which wasn't nothing but a funky bowl of bean soup and sorry.
I know you told me.
Sometimes toast if you got that, you know, and water. And if you got anything to drink with that beside water, it was lemonade. But that's all you had coming, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it was crazy. Beans, soup, and salad, that's all you ate, brother. Yeah, that's all you ate. Yeah.
You wouldn't gain no weight, was you?
That didn't even fill you up. Yeah, you know? Yeah, I mean, this, in a way, I would have to give it to Solomon, a.k.a. Leroy Jenkins. He was more kind of ruthless than Farrakhan when it came to that. You know, at least you might have got 10% out of what you sold with the final call papers. You might have got a little 10% or something out of that, but you ain't getting nothing out of working under the United Nations Islam cats. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know. And now the feds, now he on the run from the feds over in some other country somewhere. You know, because people decided, you know, that they had to sue him, you know, for, you know, working them like a Hebrew slave. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, yeah, you know. Yeah, so you know, it is what it is, you know, and I mean, people need to wake up and understand, man, that these organizations, man, ain't nothing but about, you know, conning people, man. You know, it's just a con game.
Yes.
And that's why they had to get Malcolm X out the way, because he started exposing that stuff, you know? And that's all it was about. That's all it was to it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I mean, man, I mean, damn, man, you got billions of dollars going through your hand. Now, they said that the Nation of Islam was worth $85 million when Elijah Muhammad died, right? Okay. All that money. All them cats, all the people in the Nation of Islam, because I knew people, I grew up with people that, well, you know, I dealt with people when I was younger that grew up in the Nation of Islam. And they say all they family ate was goddamn salmon for dinner every day. That's all they ate. But they out there on the corner selling Muhammad's speech papers and bean pies and all this other stuff, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But all they had for dinner every day was salmon. Come on, really? You know, man, that's crazy, man, you know? And man, yeah, man, it just pisses me off, man, you know? And just to know, just from the fact that what I even had to go through, you know, when I was into that Dr. York, a.k.a. Imam Isa ideology BS, you know?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Out there every day have to wake up 6 or 8 o'clock in the morning to be out the street selling his products and other stuff, you know? And if I didn't come back with the right quarter, I took a chance with getting my head busted.
Wow.
Crack, you know? Yeah, like other brothers in that organization had to go through, you know? Yeah, so I mean, yeah, man, it's different levels to it, but it's still, you know, a con game either way you look at it, even though it's different levels to it, you know?
Yes.
So, I mean, man, it's like, man, you know, yeah, it's crazy, man. But I mean, you know, at the same time, you know, we was grown, you know, we could have made made the decision to go the other way. So it really ain't the con artist's fault. But at the same time, the fact of the matter is now that the con artist is being exposed. Now, you know, you got a bunch of people that want to come out and holler about people being hypocrites, slanderers. You know what I'm saying? Well, hey, you know, I mean, once people get wise to the game, that's what they supposed to do.
Right.
Is educate everybody else, you know, so they won't fall victim to the situation.
Absolutely.
You know, so yeah, I mean, you know, I mean, you know, when you really, you know, think about that situation, you know. So, I mean, man, it's like, yeah, man, it's really crazy, and it's really crazy when you really think about that situation, man. It's just bad, and I'm surprised, man. You know that I'll be honest with you. In the case of Farrakhan, you know, I'm pretty sure a lot of people want to get at Malachi York, but I mean, what can you do to a man who's already down with 135 years in the Supermax federal penitentiary, you know? but I mean, you know, because he already on his way to death anyway.
Yeah.
Man in his 70s, you know, he got bad health, they say, or whatever, you know. And, you know, he ain't never getting out, you know. So, I mean, but with Farrakhan, who's still among the living out here free, you know what I'm saying, and still living like a fat hog off the land, you know, hey, you know, I'm pretty sure it's people that want to get at him, you know, and I'm surprised that it ain't happened, you know. And, I'm surprised ain't nobody actually, you know, and I'm not trying to, you know, encourage violence or nothing, but I'm just making a point that I'm surprised people ain't actually took that step to go that level. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Because, I mean, you swindle people out of billions of dollars, man.
Yeah.
How do you think people supposed to react to something like that? You know? You actually, you know, you actually swindle billions of dollars out of people, man. One thing I have to respect Wahid Muhammad for was when he switched over to Orthodox Islam, Sunni Islam, he made it clearly known that he was completely separated from his father's way of doing things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, that's why he didn't die wealthy like Muhammad did. I mean, he wasn't, you know, Wahid Muhammad wasn't a man who was in a destitute financial situation, but of course, he wasn't living lavish like his father was either, you know?
No.
Because he said he didn't need all that, you know? So, I mean, like my brother Omar Shamsuddin said, that's why, you know, Wahid Muhammad, you know, did away with all that stuff, the mansion that Elijah Muhammad had in Chicago and all that, because he didn't feel like he needed that.
Yeah.
You know? And also, Wahid Muhammad even made it clearly known, according to what the brother was telling me, that he knew his father was using people, you know? And that he didn't really want his father using people. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he didn't want to get into using people like his father did. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why people became more self-sufficient in his organization, as far as having their own businesses and stuff, because he didn't want them to depend on no religion or organization like his father had them doing, and wasn't really giving them nothing, you know? Which he wasn't giving them nothing. He was just using them, you know?
Yeah.
Very few, you know, benefited from Elijah Muhammad, you know, being a leader of the Nation of Islam financially, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Just like in the case with Farrakhan, you know? I mean, man, it's crazy, man. You know, like I heard the brother saying, you know, you coming from a homeless shelter going to a Nation of Islam lecture meeting at a local mosque, and then turn around and have to go back to that shelter, you know, without having no job prospect or other incentives coming along with going to the Nation of Islam, you know, or temple meetings or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that's just, you know, that's just crazy, you know. The only thing I've ever known the Nation of Islam to do for the community is when they had them detox centers like the one that Malcolm opened in Harlem, you know? Mm-hmm. That's the only thing I've ever known the Nation of Islam to do as far as actually trying to help people in the community. You know, other than that, you know, I never heard them, you know, set up no bases where they had housing programs set up for people where they didn't have to worry about being on the streets, you know, or, you know, other social programs, you know what I'm saying? Since they were so bent on telling people not to depend on the Caucasian in his program, you see what I'm saying? But Jay had no type of social programs, you know, to help to suffice our people with, you know what I mean? So, I mean, how in the hell is you going to turn around and tell other people how they got to survive and live, and you not providing them with the means of what it takes to live or survive? You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, you know, and that's what I say about all them pro-black organizations out there like that. You know, that's why it ain't nothing but a con game. You know, and that's why most, you know, your typical soul black people out there throughout the country don't want nothing to do with that because they see it's a con game. You know, people ain't crazy. It's like people getting hipped on the Christian church, you know, when it comes to the con game. As far as they got going, you know, with that 503, what you call that 503K. Brothers, you still there? Technical difficulty. Brothers, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. I thought we was experiencing technical difficulties on my end.
No, we all right.
Yeah. But yeah, man, it's crazy though, you know? Yeah, I mean, it's really crazy, man.
Yeah, I'm getting a little late here, and I got some things I need to do.
Oh, okay, but all right, but I just wanted to ask you one question. What is that thing called? 501?
I really don't know the exact number, how they say that. 501c something like that.
501ck, yeah, like with them churches, what they doing with that. You know, yeah, that's crazy, you know?
Yeah.
And like I say, the Nation of Islam and the other organizations that our people look to, you know what I'm saying, for some type of form of upliftment, you know what I'm saying? You know, was just being used according to that. You know, 501ck or whatever the hell that is,
right.
You know? So, I mean, yeah, it's just crazy, man, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you know, yeah, it's just really crazy, you know? And it's nothing but a con game. It ain't nothing but a goddamn con game, man. They run. You know, people need to get hit to it, you know?
Yeah.
Stop giving their money away. That's all they doing is getting played. Played like a fool, you know? You know, that's all it is, you know? It ain't no different but from the next street hustle play, you know? The next street hustle con play.
And that's exactly what we're looking at here is this that's what's upsetting to me.
Yeah.
Is because regardless if it's now or then, somewhere in the mix, somebody corrupt the movement seeking self-gain, self-enrichment. And the people suffer because the masses actually want the liberation. They actually want better. But you have those who get into the forefront, those who are the middlemen who have no good intent. And then we end up the big losers. And then not only that, we also have sincere people too, but they are incompetent. They mean good, but they're just incompetent. Right. So that's our problem. Our problem is you have these leeches, these parasites. Our problem is incompetence. Our problem is we really don't know what to do, and we don't. We just out here. It reminds me of two girls fighting. I'm pretty sure you don't seen girls fight.
Right.
There is no science to their fighting. They just swinging, hoping that they can get to somebody. Trying to grab hair, trying to scratch. There is no method to their madness. They just, just wild.
Right.
But when you look at boxing, that's a science.
Yeah.
That's a skill.
Right.
It's organized fighting.
Right.
And that's what we need. We need organized fighting. So this is 2021, and I say that we have it now. We have it now. And you and I, we are and represent that solution. We are the organized fighting. We are the answer. The definite articles, the solution. It's us.
Right. Right.
The deacons in the chat room, Mello, you, I, all those who support this platform, all of us who understand this message. It's us. We have it. And if they want to be successful, they're going to have to come to us to get it. Otherwise, they're going to continue to do the chase the dog tail, the hamster on the wheel. That's what they're going to be doing till the end. Never going to go nowhere. In fact, this brother here, I've been on Facebook with him or whatever. He understands. And before he dropped off or whatever, he wanted to talk about the Mississippi campaign and things of that nature. So we're going to have to do that another day. Maybe his battery went bad because I noticed he was outside or whatever. And when you're on this video thing and you're not charging your phone up, it can drain. And who knows how much battery life he had to, and probably didn't pay no attention or never realized how much this video streaming would take from his phone.
Right.
But I'm going to get with that brother. Definitely get him back here because we want to talk about with him, and he wanted to talk about the Mississippi campaign. Now, there was another brother, Lorenzo, who refused. He want me to, I guess, take a personal interest with him and hold his hand and talk about. I said, brother, I'm not doing that with you because you're not interested. Yeah, thank you, Mello. Thank you, Mello, for that. Because you're not interested. If you was interested, then you go to our Facebook Mississippi campaign page and study and listen to what we're saying. You could go to the YouTube page. Just like when I was interested in the Nation of Islam, I studied it. I bought the books, the DVDs, or whatever the hell it was, the tapes, and I studied it. Just like y'all do like I told them, like y'all do everything else. Y'all go to the library or whatever. You order all these books about Africa and whatever because you have an interest in it. You don't have no interest. You just don't like what I have to say because I be smashing and making mockery of the things that you believe in and you support. But you want me to hold your hand about something you really don't have no interest in, and I'm not going to waste my time. He should have been here. He was invited here, but he didn't show up. You know, I hate, see, that's another thing. These people are fakes and frauds. Brother Khalil act like he was interested. He said, and then one day, out of nowhere, he said, I want to come and talk on, the program. And he want to talk about the Mississippi campaign.
Right.
And like I said, we're going to bring Brother Khalil back so we can do that. And whatever that brother want to speak on, because he's a very intelligent man. You see where he's coming from.
Sir. Yes, sir.
You see where he's coming from.
I've been on him for a few years.
Yeah.
Personally, yes.
Yes. So we definitely want to bring Brother Khalil back. Now, before we get out of here, I took a few notes, and Brother Khalil, follow me if you want to piggyback. And then after I go down through these notes, if you have anything to say, or piggyback off what I say, you welcome to bring that to the floor, and you can also close out the program because I'm done.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Yes, sir.
So here we go. This is gonna be real quick. I just made a few notes. I just want to go through briefly on the conversation that we had with Brother Khalil. And one of the points that we was talking about was what happens to the properties, what happened to the assets of these organizations that was built upon the blood, sweat, and tears of the believers or the followers of Elijah Muhammad or Malachi J. York, whatever, K. York, whatever his damn name is, or Elijah Muhammad. These things, or Yahweh bin Yahweh, these things were built upon the people, the believers, blood, sweat, and tears. And so we talked about that. And as we know, when Elijah Muhammad died, none of that went to the believers. They didn't get nothing. Any assets that was left went to the family. The believers got nothing. Okay. Now, according to Maurice Muhammad, he said he saw the paperwork. If something happened to Farrakhan or whatever, the assets of the Nation of Islam, the control of the Nation of Islam goes to the believers. I really doubt it. It's going to go to his family. I really doubt it. I don't know what kind of slick thing they done, but Farrakhan can die. I can guarantee you his children, his people will continue to control whatever is left of this Nation of Islam, which to me, I don't really see nothing happening for real. I don't. They don't really have nothing. We also talked about Fard Muhammad, Master Fard Muhammad, who is the God of the Nation of Islam, who looks like a white man, supposed to be biracial, and just using their teachings. Now, according to their teachings, the black woman can produce all the colors of the rainbow from white to black, from the whitest of the white to the blackest of the black. They call the white people devils. Now, so why would they choose a white woman to give birth to God, who is a devil, but the black woman can produce all the colors of the rainbow? Why wasn't a black woman chosen to bring forth? Because I seen a picture. Look, I seen a picture of those twins, Tamika and Tamara, whatever they are, those twins. I forgot what that show they was on. Their mother is dark. I mean, real dark, and they very light. I'm like, how the hell did that happen? But when you understand the genetics of the so-called Negro, you see why that's possible. I've seen two very, very dark people, and their children is light as hell. That's, we can do that sometimes. So how come a black woman who is a goddess, why wasn't she chosen to birth Master Fard Muhammad? Also, just like the brother said, when it's all said and done, you still have a white image on your wall. So what's the difference between this white-looking image of Master Fard Muhammad and regular white Jesus? There ain't no, there's no difference. Okay. So another point, during the time of Elijah Muhammad, every Savior's Day, the National Secretary would talk about what they did during the year and talk about, we bought 4 more diesel trucks, we opened up this business. They would talk about what they done for the year. Minister Farrakhan, his first Savior's Day was 1981. And no Savior's Day do his national secretary come up, his national secretary or whoever, they might beg you for some money, but his people never tell you what they accomplished and what they done during the year, because the reality is they're not accomplishing and doing a damn thing. Oh, they putting on beautiful speeches. Thousands and thousands of people can come out. Yeah, they do that. But as far as showing anything of substance, no. They show nothing. And we also want to make this point. And the brother was saying, we are our own people. Using us as our family members. It don't make no difference what your parents done. That don't mean you have to do it. If your parents are bakers and they make pies and cakes and cookies, you don't have to be a baker. You don't have to follow in your parents' footsteps. That's their legacy. You have the right to follow your own mind, develop your own legacy. So it doesn't make any difference if the African American is an African. It makes no difference if the Aboriginal American, Native American, whatever we want to call ourselves. It don't make no difference if that's what we are. We don't have to be them. We are us. We come from a different place. That's not even our origins. We don't have to be them. We can follow in our own mind. Me personally, I don't want to be an African. I don't want to be an Aboriginal. I don't want to be, I understand that those things may be flowing through my blood, but that's not who I am. We don't even follow that path. We got to start all over from scratch, and we got to pretend to be something we're not. So that brings us to our favorite holiday, Happy Halloween. So we got to pretend to be a Arab Muslim. We got to pretend to be an Aboriginal or African. We got to pretend to be that and put on these costumes and put on this show, because that's not who we are. Happy Halloween. Another point is how we love falsehood. Falsehood and lies make us feel good. And a good example of this, and I've told this story before, was my mother. My mother, it's not too many things that could make her smile. It's not too many things that she enjoyed. So one day, I made up this lie, tell this story, and it made my mother laugh. It made my mother smile. It made her feel good without drinking, without smoking. She really liked the story that I told, but it was a lie. Matter of fact, the whole family heard the story. We were sitting around. I told this story. The whole family enjoyed the story. They thought it was true because I told it like this was a true event, but it was a false story. It was a lie. Now, this is the thing about it. Now, I understand because they don't know that this is a lie. I understand how they feel, but here I am. I know it's a lie. Do you know? I almost start believing it myself. That's how good the story was, because I I seen how much joy and people, it was funny, whatever the story, I forgot exactly what the story was, but it made people so happy over this false story. But I had to tell people, hey, y'all, that's not real. That never happened or whatever. And they, of course, they was disappointed. Oh, man, you told us that story. That was a lie, blah, blah. Of course, they were disappointed. But my mother refused to believe it was a lie. And she kept enjoying that story. She didn't care it was a lie. She made that lie, that falsehood, made her happy. It brought her joy. It brought her comfort. And that's how it is in these religious and spiritual belief systems. And a lot of this Pan-African pro-blackness stuff, all these stories, the black man is God, the black woman is God, and our melanin do this and our melanin do that. All these are stories just to make us feel good. There could be some kind of truth in these things, but that's what it's designed for. It is to make us feel good. And the last point I want to make, I'm going to turn it over to Talib to either give his last commentary or he can just simply close us out. The last point I want to make is the reality is we actually, when it comes to religion, spirituality, and pro-blackness and all like that, we make mockery of Christianity. Oh, you still under white Jesus. You believe in the white man. The reality is, and it's factual, you will see that we done better under Christianity than we did and have done under pro-blackness, Pan-Africanism. That's just the reality of it. There was no pro-blackness. There was no Pan-Africanism when our ancestors first came off the slave plantations. And they actually done better than we are doing right now to this day. They had no education. They was illiterate. They had no money. But they had the fortitude. And they used their common sense. They used their survival skills to make a way. And chances are they were Christians because that's what they was taught on the slave plantation. And we did not, and we did real well, and we progressed without Pan-Africanism, without no type of pro-blackness, because that stuff we wasn't introduced to until the late 1920s or so. We prospered and did better under Christianity. And under Christianity, there was no big shot one particular preacher. Nobody was running around trying to tell you how to live and how to do this. Don't eat no pork and all this crazy stuff. They just lived their lives and tried to survive in America. There, to my knowledge, there was nobody running around trying to seek out and talk about they hate homosexuals, I hate interracial couples, and all this other nonsense. They were just people trying to survive, living their life, trying to make it. And all this other nonsense, they pushed to the side, probably wouldn't even talked about or whatever. Those are the points that I want to make, and I'll pass the mic over to Talib, and he can give his commentary and close us out. And as far as it is with me, I thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Again, I want to thank our guest, Brother Khalil. We will be having him back. I guarantee you, he would be a great, valuable asset to what we're trying to do here on the Reality Temple on Earth. And with that said, the mic passes on to Soul Brother Talib.
Oh, yes, brother. Thank you. Yes, I just want to just quickly add this on to what the brother was basically saying. You know, when he brought up this thing about Bob Muhammad, well, you know, people in that organization under Dr. Malachi York looked up to him as some type of divine savior. Well, he taught us that the Caucasian was the devil as well, like Elijah Muhammad and the Nation of Islam did. Well, I come to just find out recently while I was on his brother Chuck Morgan's channel, and you could go to his channel and subscribe to his channel as well. That brother has some very informative stuff dealing with the truth about Malachi Z. York and that so-called Nubian, Nubian Islamic Hebrew, Sabians, or whatever the hell else they want to call themselves, you know. But he has very viable quality and tons of information concerning the truth about that organization and its currently incarcerated leader. And also, he was a former member of that organization as well. And he was, you know, actually doing things under the direct instructions of Malachi Z. York. So that brother there is definitely a reliable source. So you could go subscribe to Brother Chuck Morgan's channel whenever you get the time to. For those of you especially that are former members of that organization, you know, which may, you know, give you some closure, as well as on the stuff that nigga did, you know, by using people and conning people, you know. But I want to just leave you with this. Well, I found out that his parents, okay, because see, he had us believing that he was a Sudanese. He was from Sudan, East Africa, okay, which come to find out, which come out to what I found out to be false, and which also I come to find out that they didn't have no official birth record of him being born over there in that country. And then he went around claiming he was a Liberian, and then now he's been claiming he was from Ghana. This is a tactic to use toward getting his federal conviction overturned, but that's not going to happen. And even if he did get his federal conviction overturned, he'd still have to deal with state charges. Okay, because it was tons of charges by the state that was weighing against him, and plus he already pled guilty to a state charge prior to him getting convicted by the feds, and he also pled guilty twice. The first time in the state and the first time in the feds, but the feds rejected his guilty plea, so he went on and took it to trial, and that's how he got convicted in the federal courts. Okay, now as far as for child molestation and stuff like that, and other charges that were included that caused him to get convicted, and have, which has got him serving 135 years in a supermax federal penitentiary. But however, needless here to say, I come to find out that his real father was a half Portuguese. Now we know that the Portuguese is a part of the Caucasian European family, right? We all know this. So right there, you know, goes to prove that he is a half-breed. And nothing against half-breeds or mulattoes, but the fact that he taught us that he was from this dark-skinned royal seed, which is supposed to be descendants of Prophet Muhammad, as well as a descendant of Isa ibn Maryam, which is known in Arabic as Jesus. You see what I'm saying? But however, to come to find out, his mother was a Negro, a so-called Negro America. So-called American Negro, born in Pennsylvania. I thought she was born in Virginia, but come find out she's from Pennsylvania. I think Philadelphia, if I'm not mistaken. So he was as a people, we come to find out they came in many disguises, even as the devils themselves. So let their own teachings say it. You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, we got to think and use our heads.
Yes.
And stop being fooled by these, religious charlatans. You see what I'm saying? We got to stop being so gullible in our way of thinking and accepting these people that come to us as so-called saviors or divine gods or angels and extraterrestrials and all this other BS. You see what I'm saying? But needless here to say, I just want to bring that up because that's very important to look at, family. And with that said, I'm going to go on and close us out. Peace.